go. Let's go. Yeah, let me save theirs and then add that. Yo, welcome in. Welcome in. Joseph's in the building. Space Dust. What's up, Joseph? Welcome in. How are you feeling today?
How are you?
Let me get that saved.
Maybe let's just leave it up there in case.
Yeah, right. In case they come in soon. Alan, welcome in. Loki, welcome in. How are y'all feeling? Yeah, I'll take it off. It's fine. It's easy to put back.
Right.
And then let me get TikTok over there real quick.
I'm good. I hope you two are doing well. It's my anniversary today, the day of the month. The day of the month. So we are having a little date night. That's so cute. What do you mean the day of the month? Like, how long have y'all been together?
There we go. Hopefully this pops up now.
Play chopsticks. That's does that count? That's the only way I can
it's
play
close
it.
enough. I could play part of it by ear if I just listen to it.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's really sweet,
Where
though,
is it?
Joseph. Happy anniversary to both of you.
I love that. Love that.
I like celebrating any little chance to celebrate.
Hold on. R. Greg, welcome in. How are you doing today? Give me a second, Alan. Hopefully this will pop up.
I think this might be our last live for a little bit, guys. We are going to maybe try to go on Friday, but we just don't know. So we'll do our best, but if not, this might be the last one for a bit.
For a wee bit. All right. Hey, what's up, Wubsy? What's up? Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate you, man. And hopefully, what's up, Saint? It goes like dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. All right, let me see if I can get this over here. Let's see. All right, there's TikTok coming in now.
These are 20 to 30 minute consultations.
Is your mic on? Hold on, give me 1 sec. That sounds super quiet. Talk.
Check.
There we go.
I said, "What's up, Saint? Thanks for hopping in."
I was like, hold on 1 second. That's not doing anything.
We do 20 to 30 minute consultations on the breakdown of your music. So any individual song that you have that you want to send in and get a thorough breakdown of the production, the engineering, and then I'll break down your brand, your marketing, any visuals you have. Essentially, any way that we could offer help, we try to do it.
There we go. All right, thankfully. I was like, dude, something's
so
like,
all
I
the
can
information
hear you.
can be found at the website at the Linktree in Torvik's profile. If you're interested, all the info's there. We even have an FAQ section. But either way, thanks for hopping in and thanks for being here.
I appreciate it so much. Yeah, welcome in. Our main platform is the Purple app, if you know what I mean. So if you want to see the line, the order, the minimum, if you want to get better audio, visual, stuff like that, then that is over on.
Sounds good, Wubs. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for hanging out and just lurking in the background.
I'd rather play than...
That sucks. Y'all couldn't even hear me. I'm dead. I was literally doing all kinds of exciting things and y'all couldn't even hear it.
Yep. Yes, sir. We just try not to say, we try not to say too much on here just because TikTok is insecure about saying it. It's interesting because I've heard from like the CEO of Instagram and stuff, and they don't. What's up, Judah? They don't care about you saying other platforms, but on TikTok specifically, they really don't like you naming other platforms or saying that you have a link and shit like that. It's like, well, then why do you let us have a link? It's very odd.
TikTok is a jealous girlfriend that doesn't like you talking about other apps. Exactly. They said you can't like us and like them.
They're just annoying and weird. Annoying and weird. Yeah, if y'all want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps there. You'll be ready to go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, Jazz, let me double check for you. I'll get you up on the list as well.
Welcome back, Jazz. Good to see you.
Welcome back. I can figure it out by ear. I don't know if I know it
So true,
specifically.
Joseph.
You mean Drops of Jupiter by, is that
Dun,
Train?
dun, 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 dun,
Is that Train?
dun, 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 dun.
Something like that.
Tell me.
So that,
I don't know. We're killing it. We're really killing it in the worst way. I'm so sorry.
yeah. All right, let me update some things here. Okay, so I think this is Jazz. Got you. Jazz, your initials are RS, correct? Let's go, Joseph. I love that.
Thank you so much, Patrick. That's really sweet.
I love it.
We'll definitely get you added to the board. And just as a reminder, guys, you can keep the board up on Twitch or YouTube. That way you can keep track of it. Since it is a modular line, it moves around quite a bit. So you can just keep track of where you're at in the line and see and ensure that you'll get played today. This will, or it most likely, I'll say it most likely will be our last live for a little bit because we are in the middle of a move. But if we can get on for a bit on Friday, we will try to do that.
Got you, Jazz.
And then just as a reminder, if your credit isn't heard at some point today, then it's automatically saved into the Vibe Tribe Bank, essentially, and you can utilize your credit however you'd like in the future when we are live. You can just be like, hey, can you get me back up on the board? I should have this much credit, and we keep a line, a really thorough line, and
you, Patrick. Appreciate you so much, man.
Put back up. Did you miss me while you're looking for yourself out here? Wait, and Venus, while your mind is everything you want to
Those lyrics. First Train, you're like, what? Did you miss me while you found yourself out there?
I don't understand it. Please help me understand.
Thank you, MK. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure you're talking.
Hi, Slim. How are you? Oh, let me try that thing that you were telling me. Let me get on. Wait, I need to refresh my memory by going to your messaging. On the level, click the arrow, then click the settings icon.
Do you know a French song? I don't know if I specifically know a French song. I'm good with my ear, so I could probably pick something up. But I don't know if I know one specifically.
There's a really popular
Road Live.
La Vie en Rose. La Vie en Rose.
So kind, okay. Thank you.
How about that? I don't know the lyrics in French, unfortunately. Okay, so... No, I literally feel like an old lady trying to figure this out, Slim.
Oh man with the fingers. All right, so y'all keep tapping the screen. The music begins once we get to 5,000 likes and 20 shares.
The magic spell you cast. This is La Vie en Rose. When you kiss me, heaven sighs. And though I close,
it's so fun. The thing that I love about like piano and like even like aspects of music theory is there's kind of like no wrong. I mean, of course, contextually, there's stuff that doesn't sound good, but you can kind of. I mean, I could be playing in like C major, like the easiest key, doing basic stuff, and then randomly throw in like a C sharp diminished to like a. Like somehow like it all works even though they're like in totally different keys. Just the context. To diminish. To let's go like D sharp diminished. And it just sounds like it kind of works somehow.
I can't even hear it right now. Yeah, you can if you want. All the information is at the link tree on Torvik's profile. You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission. And then just make sure to check the line.
Talk dirty to me. Yeah, if y'all want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps there. We're going to get moving as soon as we get to 5,000 likes and 20 shares, and we're going to get moving. Get jazzy with it.
I never liked that song, to be honest.
It's always kind of annoying to me. John, welcome in. John, how are you feeling today? Welcome in. Welcome in.
That didn't even sound like it.
It's like a lo-fi song.
I like that.
A little bit of swing, and then like filter this down.
Yeah, there's no free. Since it's 20 to 30 minute consultations, we really take our time. Good job, Betty.
Betty, welcome in. Welcome in.
Got you.
I'll make sure I get some things updated as we go here too, y'all. We'll get it flowing.
I think we have a 5 in credit to donate, right? We could give it to Betty.
Yes, we do.
Betty, we will boop you to wait, can you get her credit, please? We will boop you to hold.
There's already credit? Is it what you're saying?
Betty is in the 10 right now, so we are going to boop you to 15.
Boom. Boop.
Dang, I thought you at least had 15. 15 is our minimum now, so that kind of stinks. I thought it was going to be a bit more of a boop, but that's all right. You still got a boop.
It's still a boop.
It's still a boop.
You're on the board. You're ready
15.
to go. Ready to go. Ready to go.
So congratulations on the boop, Betty Boop. Oh, that's so nice, Joseph.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you so much, sponsor.
I totally agree.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry for that.
Completely agree.
Yeah, definitely. We got you on the list.
Betty. You're up there, ready to go.
Betty, did you hear us? We booped you to 15. Oh yeah, no worries at all, Patrick. Let's see. 5,000 likes and 20 shares on TikTok.
Is it W late or what latte? Thank you so much for hopping in. All right, y'all, we're gonna get it moving here in a second. We're almost ready to go.
Boom. Thank you guys for the shares.
Let's see. John, I got you as
well.
Now
the mic is a little too loud, isn't it? I feel like I can hear every little nuance of my voice. It's like, I'm like,
ASMR.
Ooh, sorry, guys.
Shout out to the Neumann for the ASMR.
What's your flavor of the week? What's your best discovery? Ear crush over the last days.
Let me see. Let me get to John. And then John, hop in the chat. Got you, Joseph. Shout out to Joe. Where's my cheers?
Completely understand, Betty. That is a lot for kids.
Betty, thanks to Joseph, you are going to...
That's so nice. Congratulations, Betty, and thank you so much for the generosity, Joseph. That's really, really
You're going
sweet.
to the 20. Got you. Okay, so John...
Exclamation point, submit. John should get you the answers you are looking for.
And that, John, was from you. And then big shout out to Joseph, sent an extra 5 for Betty. So Betty, you are skipping to that 20. I appreciate you so much, man. That's a lot of love. I appreciate that a lot.
That's so sweet.
So you have a little bit more of a push there. And then John. So I think that was the John here. And so let me get you. I want to get the right name because it's more specific than just John on my list. Bucci.
Yay. Love this community so much.
There we go. There we go. All right. It's all coming together. All right. Let me just make sure I got everybody else on YouTube. So Joseph, I got you.
Can we fix that line? Now I really can't reach it, so I'm just going to have to be asking you when I notice something.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
We have Patrick, we have Jazz, we have John, and then we have
fool?
Betty.
Go to my link tree, click on See the Line. It's on Twitch or YouTube. It is always, it's the same stream to either one, so either one will do this. We'll do the trick.
Yeah, good to see you, Full on Hell.
Appreciate you hopping in. How you been? Been a little while.
This might be our last live stream just for a bit, guys. We're in the middle of a move, but we will try to go on Friday if we can for a little bit. But thank you for bearing with us as we navigate these tumultuous, I'm just kidding. These turbulent times, I'll say.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the finger heart. I appreciate it.
I'm hearing.
Let's go. Hey, shout out to Joseph. Joseph, sending, I have 6. So you got a $1 bonus. You got a $1 bonus in there, but let me get, well, hold on. Oh, yeah. Let me get Betty pushed up. I'm assuming that's what that's for, man. Big shout out to the family.
That's
shout out to Joseph.
Oh my gosh.
So kind and generous. Betty, you are moving up. So let me see.
Big love, Joseph. That's so sweet. That's what this community is all about.
Comps, welcome in. Appreciate it. 100%. 100%. You know the deal.
So, Betty, you are in the 25 now. You still are 4th technically, but you could always push a little more as well if you want to.
For sure. And y'all, we are already at 5.3K, 25 shares. It's time for some music. Y'all actually got us moving here pretty quick. I'm excited. It is so much more helpful when people are tapping the screen and sharing it out. No. What should be on the... That should be on... I'm sorry, it's like your name for whatever reason is covering it a little bit.
Yeah, if we did it by the dollar, people would be pissed, I'm afraid.
And I would just spend...
They already are pissed at us doing it by 5s.
Yeah, I would just spend the entire live going like nickel by nickel to like get people boosted or whatever, and it would get crazy for a minute there.
They would just be like, well, no, I'll send 27, no, 28, 29, no.
All right, let's get into it, man. We're going to kick it off today with, I believe...
You have a $1 credit though, Joseph. Full definitely.
Seriously, it'd be crazy. Oh, we got Patrick in the building. Let's go, Patrick. Patrick, I don't see. There's no file on your email. There's no file on your email
Banner?
or link on your email. What's up, Banner? Welcome in, man. Good to see you. Okay, let me get everything updated here. Got you, John. Let me just make sure.
No worries, Patrick.
All of these updated real quick.
And then just make sure that you go to the submission link to find the right email.
Got you, Banner. Got you. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, let me just get all this updated.
About a month ago. Is it too late to cash it in? Just a reminder that 15 isn't a skip in here. It's actually the minimum to enter the line. Oops, sorry guys. But if you did send it, we definitely still have it, Dreams.
Yeah, we'll never listen without you.
We'll so we have that in credit, and we can definitely get you added to the board.
And got you.
I think we need to update the minimum for today though already, right? Or
no, okay. Not until we have less tracks than is on the board.
Okay, so Dreams, if you want to get them added.
Okay, yeah, let me just get these updated real quick, y'all, and then I'll
Okay, yeah, we'll check for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have it on the list here, so I'll know exactly what it is. Was it Dr. Dreams? Is that you? Is it Dr. Dreams or is that someone else? Because I have that here.
I would think that that's it.
Yeah, let me just double check the 15s just in case.
Yeah.
That's you. Okay, yeah, you got 20. You got 20. All right, you're set. Yeah, we'll always make sure you're on the list so you're ready to go.
Definitely. Thanks for hopping back in. Good to see you.
Of course. I'm glad to have y'all back. Let me put Dr. Dreams because that's what I had there. Beautiful. Dr. Dreams, you got 20 on the board, ready to go.
Ooh, señorita.
All right. Okay. So y'all can see the line at any point. Let me make sure these are updated. Let me get Patrick pushed right there. We got Banner, Patrick,
no
John,
worries, Patrick. Thank you.
Jazz, Betty, and Dr. Dreams on the board, ready to
Okay. So actually, we are going to run Banner since he's in the 40, Patrick, and then you are after him as of now. I love it when you call me señorita. That song is annoying, right? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
It's kind of annoying to me.
All right, let me just make sure I've got those in
Really, Patrick? That's funny.
I love it.
That's really funny.
All right, let me get these in the right order.
You love that there's no Spanish in the song?
No, I like what y'all are I like what y'all are just doing. What do you mean?
What?
Weirdo. Okay, we got Banner.
I love it when you call me up and get some pizza.
We'll work on the phrasing, but
I love it when you call me and get some pizza.
All right, this is Banner Johnson. Let's get into the music, y'all. It's time to kick it off. Banner's going to kick us off today with Smoke, and this is on Spotify. So let me open up Spotify and get this going. Banner, give me some background. Give me some an update on this song. You're rolling it. I've obviously heard plenty of your music before, but let the chat know kind of what's going on as well. This is Smoke by Banner Johnson.
And then really quick, Banner, I think I definitely remember that we've gone over some stuff, but I don't remember exactly what. So just let me know if you have any specific questions, or if you want us to go over your Spotify again, stuff like that. Absolutely. But I think we went over your Spotify at least last time.
Yeah. All right, it was on a collaboration album in 2020. This is the first song I wrote, Bluesy. Okay, so this came out though this year, right? So you probably wrote it a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, right? But did you do anything new to it? Did you freshen up the production structure or anything like that? Remastered. Beautiful. Love to hear it. Any new tracking on the song or just a remix and master on the song? But let's get into it. This is Smoke by Banner Johnson. Let's get into it.
I'm sorry.
And let me know if re-recorded vocals, perfect.
Nice.
If any instrumentation you played, let me know too.
The smoke is rising. It came before the flame.
Cool.
The smoke is rising. It came before the flame. My baby's eyes are full of lightning.
Beautiful voice.
And you deserved it, Banner. Awesome.
is dead and gone. But the smoke is rising. He came before the flame.
Let's go, Banner.
Smoke is rising. The smoke is
Amazing.
I love that. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Aw, thank you so much, Patrick. Yeah, you're so
Gotcha.
sweet.
I appreciate that a lot, man. Hold on. What's happening here? Man, y'all show some love. Show some love. Banner Johnson, you are so talented.
Talented,
man.
yes.
So talented, man. Your voice is amazing. So much texture, so much emotion. Production on this is gorgeous. Really great mix on the production elements too, man. Let's get into it. Let's run it back from the top. Let's dive into it. Shout out to Banner for sending this in, man. Really beautiful record. I'll be honest, because this is the way my brain works. There's one thing I wish I heard. We'll say it, not to take away from the record that we're hearing here, because it is gorgeous. It's beautiful. But there's one thing that I feel like would allow your vocal to just shine a little bit more. But you're wildly talented. I
Your
love
voice
the record.
does really well with the belting for sure.
Yeah, it's got this to me, it feels like a really good placement song, like an interlude in a portion of a show or something like that. And then this kicks in. It's got so much energy, so much emotion to it. So let's dive in, man.
No worries, Patrick. We always have all genres, and it's always a fun time no matter what.
Mondo, thank you so much for the follow. Beautiful musicianship too.
The smoke is rising. It came before the flame.
Great balance on the production elements. All right, so I want to talk about one element in your vocal production. It's literally a 5-minute revision. It's really tight. Absolutely, Dreams. Absolutely. So there's one thing. A production structure is absolutely beautiful. Incredible balance to the mix. It's like sharp and punchy while still feeling like, kind of fuzzy and saturated. It's got a really good mix in the production structure. Your vocals, the one thing I want to listen for. I'm going to get into this next section first before we kind of get back into it. But man, wildly talented across the board. Musicians, engineers, you on the vocals and some of the guitar. Incredibly well done.
So well
man.
done, yeah.
The smoke is rising. It came before.
Okay, so this is literally the only detail that I think would benefit the song structure. Beyond this, it's a gorgeous mix. It's extremely just well performed and well structured. The only thing that I feel like I'm missing is a slightly tighter, either upward compression or just slightly tighter compression structure on your lead vocal, just because your low register is so textural. It's got so much power and character to it, but it falls out of the mix when you hit those low notes. So when you hit that those low notes, your vocal falls like 3-4 dB out of the mix, causing you to kind of lose some of the clarity and distinction there, and like lose some of the power of those lowest notes of your register that are harder to amplify anyways, right? That's you have a little bit less breath control down there, and it makes it harder to get a bit more power out of it. So I would like bring up that low level information, tighten up your compression structure just a little bit, or have one additional stage of compression that's nice and slow moving so it grabs all of those notes. Something like an LA2A is great, or even an emulation of that is great for stuff like this, just because it's going to sit there for a long time. 100% is way easier to belt because you can put so much more like diaphragmatic support behind it. and just really, really open
Totally.
up the lungs, which is why I think that for you, really strategic, like clip gaining and stuff like that. So like in whatever DAW they're using to mix and stuff, I would typically like, if there's a note that is just 3-4 dB quieter than some of the other elements, I would clip gain that to match the levels and crossfade them a little bit easier so that all of your vocal phrasing is fairly consistent, still dynamic, but fairly consistent. And then it targets your compression more consistently. If your vocal varies a lot, like it gets really, really quiet and then really, really loud from like low verses and a low register to belting at your higher register or like a mixed voice, and your compression only targets really like that top 3-4 dB to control it at the top end, no low level information is really being lifted up. So if you have something that's controlling that, you clip gain just a little bit more to bring it up to a more consistent level, and then have another stage of compression that's moving a little bit slower, like an LA2A, it's going to saturate nicely, something similar. Right? You can do it with stock plugins, and then you lift it up just a little bit, especially that low end information. Your vocal's going to feel powerful from start to finish. So when you hit those low notes, they don't fall out of the mix. That is the one and only thing that I hear in this record that could be improved. Everything else is
And you're really not alone in
beautiful.
that. Every singer struggles
So many people.
right on the low end and the high end. Like
Yep.
it's just that area that we're not as comfortable in. It makes sense.
100%. Anytime you feel like you're at like kind of the peak of your range, and whether it's a low note or like
Mhm.
you're on the verge of like breaking into head voice or something like that, it's always
so
a
hard.
challenging spot. It's always a challenging spot, which is why I would clip gaining will help with that, but then also tightening your compression structure. I track the verse and chorus vocal sampling, but then I can't get the volume balance. Yeah, that's always going to be the tricky part right there. Clip gaining would be I do that as a part of my editing process. So when I get a vocal in, I focus on editing before I start processing. So I make sure, I cut out noise. I usually don't cut out a lot of breaths, depends on the song and the style, of course, but breath control, noise reduction, manual tuning, any like vocal editing that I need to do, clip gaining, I do that all before I have a single plugin on there, so that I know anything that I'm processing is already perfect. It's already balanced. It's already loud enough. It's already kind of gain stage in a space that feels really consistent. Then if I add a compressor and EQ, I'm doing it on an already really polished vocal. So that would be my recommendation for you, is that a lot of times what happens with so many people, like probably the majority of people that are earlier on in engineering too, or even if they've done it for a long time, is they start adding plugins right away and then having to mix from the plugins, right? So they open up their vocal chain, right? They just put their vocal chain on there immediately, and then they have to start like turning down a compressor and turning down the output of this and raising this to like rebalance. They're mixing within their plug-in vocal chain, as opposed to the early gain staging that's the source of what's feeding into that vocal chain. So I would even if I track with effects on, because I like to hear kind of a finished sound when I'm writing and when I'm tracking my own vocals or tracking for someone. So I'll usually have a little bit of reverb, a little bit of compression, some EQ to like just make it sound decent while you're tracking. But then I'll bypass all of that to do my editing phase and build from there. That's going to make it way easier for you to hear what's actually track on there. That's fine. I mean, if you can track raw. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I prefer because I typically will like when I'm working on my own music, since I do all of the different things, I'll typically be like writing and editing as I go and kind of mixing as I go. So it's easier for me to kind of hear something that feels slightly polished already. But if it works for you to track dry. I know a lot of people that love that, especially like, really talented vocalists. They don't want to hear something already edited that's like making decisions for them already. It can be better to track raw. Complete preference. There's no right answer to that. But I would just recommend, if you're tracking dry, perfect. Get all of that editing, gain staging, clip gaining, and everything right off the bat. That way, before you add any of the reverbs that are on there, any of the soft clipping, any of the EQ and compression and stuff like that, that vocal's already at a level where you're super, super happy with it, right? Your compression is controlled, so on and so on. That honestly, that's literally the only thing that I heard, is you have a fantastic voice, a powerhouse vocal, and it falls out of the mix, which is kind of a shame because it's so good. So you actually miss some of that background right there that I wish was a little bit more powerful. That's it. Everything else sounds gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. So if you you'll have 15 in credit then. Love the organ there.
The hope is falling. My life
Just being
is
amazing.
dead and gone.
Very helpful.
Best mod for today.
But the smoke is rising.
We love you, dude.
I love hearing this higher register from you though, Banner.
Yep.
Beautiful. So
nice.
beautiful.
I love how the
man.
instruments support the vocal and vice versa. It's just so nicely balanced.
Gorgeous. Banner, you're incredible, man. This is really fun because I feel like I'm hearing more of your vocal range than I've ever heard before. And it's really showing your potential as a vocalist. I've
Absolutely.
heard some amazing records from you, but this one just shows a different side. And I'm thrilled to hear more of this from you, man. So incredibly talented. That song that you just heard is out on all platforms. So if you like what you hear, if you enjoyed that song, go to your favorite DSP, go to Spotify, follow on there, like the track, add it to your playlist, of course, stream it. I see you at 3,300 monthly listeners plus right now, which is amazing. I've seen that number be 200. So I'm so excited for your growth and
for
your
you.
movement. Amazing.
Why
man.
are mics clipping? I hate it.
Really, really cool. Who knows? Yeah, who fucking knows?
Banner, I did give your Spotify another look over and it's fantastic. You really killed it with that description and everything. So it looks really good. Just a reminder on your website to get to work on the visibility, just so it's not gray words on a gray background. It's very difficult to see right now, so I would hate for people to miss out on what you have for them to support. But otherwise, you're really killing it, dude.
So good.
And of
man.
course, like I said, if you have any specific questions on that side of things, we got you.
Yeah. All love,
Oh,
Banner.
okay, awesome. What happened to your Facebook? Did they like do something weird with it? I promise you the only song I have for him here is what I'm working on with him at the moment. The song is finished.
That's so kind, Joseph. Let me add.
Yeah, that's really sweet, Joseph. Do you want to add 10 to Betty?
Yeah. So Joseph, you still have 5. Okay, it should be back. Should be
That's
back.
weird.
That was weird.
I mean, literally, that might be why we have no one on Twitch. So thank you so much for letting us know.
It was coming through earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. It was coming through earlier. I don't know. OBS just be on one sometimes. It should be coming.
Yeah, I don't know. That is
Yeah,
strange.
it started out on there, but
Okay, Patrick, I'm not seeing anything from you, so we'll just go ahead and move on for today. But of course, if you ever have any questions on your visuals and, the branding marketing side of things, we got your back 100%.
100%. Anytime, man. Y'all show some love to the family. Show some love to the family. That is Senorita by Patrick
It's
Javier.
not. If you do ! Submit, it'll pop up. We do have, let's see, there's 8 tracks left, and then you can kind of see who's in the line for today. I think we can save John,
Mm-hmm.
as I don't think he's going to be back today.
So let's put that down there.
So yeah, we do still have quite a few open spots today. What's up, Sam? Good to see you. How are you guys? It's good to hear from you again.
John. All right, got John saved with a 30. Perfect.
Did you do the last name too? Just so we don't get confused.
Yeah.
Perfect.
John Bucci. All right, let's get into it. We got Betty in the building. And so, Betty, did you send a track, Betty? I love it, Sam. Y'all been working like crazy, man. I've
So
been,
sick.
I see
Yeah.
what y'all are doing.
Anytime I come across your guys' videos, I really love what you guys are doing.
Okay, here we go. This is from March 7th.
Yep.
This should be the right one. Is this still the one that you want? Okay, no worries. I'll see if they'll let me say it too. And then we got the Spotify here, and then I'll read the email. So let me pull it up. Let's go. I know TikTok be strange sometimes with what they allow and don't allow.
It's quite annoying.
I know. It's insane. All right, let's go. So this is version number 2, Sylvester and Friends radio edit. I was a Playboy model from 99 to 03 and was signed with Arcade Music Company. Playboy has offered to buy the rights to my song, but I want it to be a version I'm proud of. Yes, the 5 versions are different, but none of them are as magical as I wanted them to be. Love that. I want to work with someone to remake it with modern sound so it has a genuine possibility of trending and we can sell it for more. I will share 50% of all profit and credit.
Nice.
The song is already registered with Tono Music Library in Norway. Okay, so you have a sync library in Norway that's running some of it up there.
You
That's
already
cool.
have a good idea of, what to expect, sharing
Yeah.
50% of the credit, all that stuff. So
stuff's
that's
fun.
really good, Betty.
Love that.
What's up, Stefan? Or is it Stefan or Stefan?
Stefan.
Stefan.
Stefan's the man. Amazing artist.
I do remember him. I just forgot how to say your name really quick, and I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure I'm saying it right.
So, okay, so it's registered to the library in Norway. All the proceeds will go there first, and then, of course, it's distributed on the publishing side. And then we have the social medias here, too. But let's get into it. I'm excited. I'm super, super excited. Let's run it.
Me too.
So we're listening to the Sylvester and Friends radio edit, correct? And then you're still wanting to do, so this is, I guess, to get an idea of what the song is, right? And then you're still wanting to do something in addition to this, right? You're wanting to do
Let us know
newer,
what your
updated
overall
version.
goals are
Yeah.
as far as your own personal music career goes, and then we can help you with next steps for
Absolutely.
best achieving that.
Absolutely. All right, let's get in it. And also ideas on how to change it into 2025. Beautiful. Love it. Also, I don't know if you have Twitch, but it is easier to chat
I think
over
I
there.
remember
if
you
you want to.
having it, Betty.
Yeah, if you do have Twitch, you can say the name of the song over there. You can talk a bit more freely if that's easier. All right, this is Playboy Girl, Sylvester and Friends.
I guess it
radio
doesn't
edit.
like Playboy.
Probably. Yeah,
That's
no, I would assume.
interesting.
And then this is, so Kim is the artist name, right? And then Playboy Girl is the name of the song. All right, let's get into it.
I'm a Playboy girl in a big wide world. I fill you up with my ecstasy. I'm a Playboy girl in a big wide world. I'm your fantasy. I bring all.
This came out in 2000.
I love the 2000 vibes.
I was always a heavenly star, just to
Dropbox is fine as long as I have access to it, Sam. I love that. I love that.
Those are perfect, Sam.
What's up, Loom?
Good to see you, Loom. Do you want to get on the board? You have credit, right?
I think that was like 7. It's got great structure. It's got a great hook. I'm excited to break this down. So catchy.
Right. I could definitely see this doing well still. Definitely.
To be just what you see, a favorite Playboy fantasy. I grew up to be just what you see, a favorite Playboy fantasy. I'm a Playboy girl in a big wide world. I fill you up with my ecstasy. I'm a Playboy girl in a big wide world. I'm your fantasy. I bring harmony.
Yeah, pitched up there, right? Yeah, it's a semitone higher now. Yeah. Let's go.
Does Loom have credit? I
Let's
can't
go.
remember.
They have like 7 from the gifts from the other day.
Oh,
so
okay,
partial.
okay.
Yeah, show some
Sorry,
love.
never mind, Loom.
Show some love to Kim. Show some love to Kim. That song is called Playboy Girl. That is the Sylvester and Friends radio edit. Let's get into it. Okay, so I have some ideas. I have some kind of interesting things that we can talk about depending on like your references and what you want out of the song. The way that I initially hear this song and what you could do with it, interestingly enough, is a modern take. A modern take on this with still a lot of retro influence. The artist that comes to mind kind of off the bat is someone like Chappell Roan. So even if you like listen to like Pink Pony Club and like some of the really, really like hyper viral songs from Chappell, it kind of reminds me, I think that's a direction that you could go. That is obviously, this is a young, new artist that is at the top of the charts as far as like their influence in music right now, but their sound is very 80s, early 90s, even like some 70s influence, right? So you have some like synthwave in there. You have some analog synthesis. You have some really like vintage retro stuff, right? But a vocal that fits your structure, right? So it has this vintage edge to it, but you can still do a modern take on the production that doesn't feel too disconnected from, I think, like the way that you sing, the way that the song is written. And it's written to a rhythm and a tone that's like 90s, early 2000s, right? Reminds me of like some of the early Britney stuff too, right? So I think that's what I'm kind of interested in hearing for a song like this, is how you could build out a modern production made today that still honors.
I'm over here thinking, yeah, Venga Boys and what is Cascada and like them. The girl that sings, "Baby, you're all that I want."
Mhm.
Like that was so like pinnacle
Yeah,
of 2000, early 2000s music.
100%, 100%.
That was really funny. Did you read Loom's? Like they probably were so confused by what we're saying to begin with. I was like, but I do remember your kind gifts. Thank you so much. And then they're like, that was probably the other half of us.
They're like, what? What are you talking
What
about?
gifts?
What are you talking about? What did we do? It's so funny. All right. Okay. So I'm excited to get into this, and let me know as we go, Betty, kind of your perspective on some of the stuff that I'm saying too, because I feel like if you want this to be a club hit where the DJ Tiesto for a
Oh,
few years.
nice. Yeah.
Love it. I love it. So that was one of my things I was going to ask about, because I think there's kind of two directions I could see this going. One is more the club route. One is more like the club festival route that you could go, aiming more for sync, which you're already working in. And then the other side to me is more radio. It's more of a broad exposure as an artist, more palatable by more people, right? Which I think would be the more late 80s sound design, late 80s, early 90s sound design. I definitely have the DJ look,
I
right?
love
So
that. Keeping some of the original charm is definitely enticing.
100%. And so I think there's ways that we can, manipulate the
Modernize
sound
it,
design a
but
little bit. Because the thing is like, here's kind of the interesting thing about nowadays. If you look at the charts and you look what's doing well, modernizing is 80s nowadays. Like if you look at like, especially like modern pop, modern female pop, stuff like that, it's very like dream pop, 80s, synth wave. It's like, it's like Lynn drums and Junos and Jupiters and Prophets. It's like the new stuff that you would consider modern and like the newest artists doing well are doing old stuff. So the modern digital age of production, it's kind of hard to find what modern is, because a lot of things are kind of thrown back now, since
it's
there's
like 80s
cyclical
influence,
stuff.
but it has its modern spin, and you would be able to express some of what those details are that make it sound modern. But I mean,
I
to me,
think
80s sounds different than
Sure.
what's
I
today.
think the biggest thing to me is beyond even like the sound design,
Congratulations, Restless.
because like again, if you listen to like Chapel, some of her stuff sounds very, very, even the way she sings sounds very, very 80s, but the structure of the song feels more modern, right? Like we just understand kind of what people want to listen to nowadays, the melodies that work better, a language behind the lyrics that maybe fits society today a little bit more, right? Like there's structural things and like lyrical things and like vocal production things that feel more modern, even if the sound design is a bit more retro, right? So let's run it from the top. Let's listen to some of these details. But I'm excited for you, because I think you have a cool opportunity to really reimagine the song in a way that's really interesting. So I'm excited for that opportunity for you.
I'm a big boy girl in a big wide world. I fill you up with my ecstasy. I'm a big boy girl in a big wide world. I'm your fantasy. I bring I was always a heavenly star, just as you are. But never have I
Joseph got his credit in dibs.
living in my playboy fantasy. Why don't you join me for a ride? Instead I let you hide. I can give you a kick.
Go to my link tree and click on Track Talk Submission and follow all the steps. I mean, I really do think that a large portion of how this song gets modernized is a more recent tracking of your vocals. So there's, from like a quality standpoint, a presence standpoint, you can get a nice full saturated mix on your lead vocals here. It feels a little bit more present, which I think is just back early 2000s, mid like late 80s and 90s. The vocals tend to have like a ton of depth. Now there's obviously artists that still do this nowadays, but ton of depth to them, kind of like removed from the mix a little bit, bigger reverbs, maybe even thinner in some aspects. They'll feel back in the room a little bit. As a more modern take now would be probably a bit more intimate, closer to the mic. Take someone like Billie Eilish and some of these other artists that have like, it's a very close proximity, tight, punchy vocal, a little bit closer. It feels more in your face. So that's one very, very simple way to modernize some of the sound that you have, is taking a vocal that feels like back in the room as a part of the instrumentation and making it feel a little bit more connected, a little bit more punchy and a little bit more forward in the mix. And then just taking like the structure that you have here with your production and modernizing the sound design a little bit, different drum texture, maybe not as like plucky with the synths there, maybe something that fills out a little bit more. It's a little warmer, still analog, like we said, like still because you have a structure built on something that's a bit more classic, right? Something that's going to be a little bit farther back, but you can still honor that era. You can still utilize like 90s, early 2000s sound design and just change like what the synth is doing, right? Same progression, even like you have this really simple. But there's not like this progression. If I play that on piano, all of a sudden that's a completely different tone. That's the same tempo too.
I think it's already a good speed. I mean,
Yeah.
'cause it's already decently fast,
I
it seems.
which is very on topic today. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think, and in fact, my gut was even to maybe go the
Slow it
other
down.
direction
Yeah.
and slow it down by like
Yeah, same.
6 BPM instead of even. It immediately, for me, slowing it down like 8 BPM, 10 BPM, immediately was meant as an indie song. That's interesting.
Ooh.
You could also have another version that honors that original
I know,
vision as
'cause
well.
that sounds sick.
I think that would be really, really cool, and I think would play well on the charts today.
Mm.
But I think if anything, if you want people to kind of feel it a little bit more, I would darken some of the sound design like we're talking about and maybe go a couple BPM slower, because I feel like then I hear the lyrics a little bit more. I
Mhm.
kind of feel what you're talking about a little bit
And
more.
it definitely makes it more modern, yeah.
100%. 100%. So I think there's a couple options, right, that you have here. One is like small changes in sound design, retracking vocals, a bit more modern. And then the way that I hear it is I would slow it down a little bit, because I really feel like you'll feel what you're talking about more. Because I think nowadays the songs tend to be a bit more like the ones that do really well tend to be a bit more poetic. They tend to have like a little bit more like nuance to it, and it's like more lyric forward. And I think if you want to bias that direction a little bit more, I would allow people like the space and the time to hear your lyrics. And I feel like that comes with a slightly slower pace, right? A slightly slower pace and a slightly more open sound design. So I definitely think you have some options. I think this has a lot of potential.
Definitely. There's so
I
many
love
different
that.
directions I could picture you going, so it's really fun to have such a versatile track like this.
Love that so much. And then depending on like your vision for where you want the song to go, I don't know if I would do like for a modern take, I don't know if I would do the transposition. Like I don't know if I would do the key change. That makes it feel older. That's fine. I mean, I like it. I love a
I
good.
kind of like it.
I
Yeah.
like a good key change, but that does make it feel older. That doesn't feel as modern, but it's an option. I also think that works better in like a fast-paced club song.
Hey, is it low ends? The line is actually right here, so you can see we have 8 tracks left.
100%.
Is that
Actually,
in,
I do need
actually
a
7?
yeah,
Yeah.
7 tracks left. Let me update it real quick, and then I'll look. I think we have another couple coming in, but I'll check those in a second.
In our big wide world, I'm your fantasy. I bring
So even like these higher melodies that you have to. Like there, you have an opportunity to take what is there that are great melody structures, a nice, simple, but still emotional chord progression, and turn it into something that feels a little bit more, I think, like palatable, like something that feels it's time to get back, Betty. It's time to get back. I'm super excited for you. I'm really
Aw,
excited
yeah,
for
me
you.
too.
Because I feel like you have an opportunity to take something that worked really well in the era of the 2000s of these like at the time like modern like club hits, like that was what was the charts, right? That's not necessarily what's a lot of the charts now. And so if you're wanting to like modernize it into something that's going to kind of give you more exposure currently with the same song structure, I think you have an opportunity to lean into the emotion of this song more and less of like this is a club hit. You could always have remixes. You can always have, like you said, you've worked with some great DJs and producers. You can always remix it. You can always do something completely different with it. But I do think you have a unique opportunity to make this feel a little bit more emotional and make this feel like a little bit more of your
No worries at all,
story,
Sam.
less of a club anthem. And I think if you do that, it could be really, because your story is interesting. Like, you already have a unique perspective because of your experience. This is going to be great for your content. This is going to be great for all of the things that we'll
Exactly.
talk about. So I would bias towards that, more of the emotion, more of a natural production structure, modern, but still natural production structure. And I feel like you could have something really unique and really, really cool.
Also, thanks for being here and welcome in BB Style. This is more like consultations. We'll do a 20 to 30-minute breakdown on the structure of your music, and Torvik goes way in depth over there. And then on my side of things, we'll cover more of the branding, marketing, visual side of things.
100%. All right, so hopefully that gives you kind of a good idea. If anything, I hope it kind of gets your wheels spinning a little bit about maybe you developing your own like vision for the song and what you want out of it. But I'm really excited for your future with this record because I think you have something really
And then
unique that you
Pat
could do.
Carl, all the information can be found at the link tree in Torvik's profile.
Yeah, super cool.
Just what you see, a favorite Playboy fan.
You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission. Welcome in.
Got you, Sam. Man, y'all show some love. Show some love.
Very, very cool, buddy.
It's such a unique perspective, and I'm really I think you have so much potential, especially as you kind of built out a new structure. I'm just excited to
Now
see and be a part of that journey. It's
now
really,
I'm
really
a
cool.
little confused what your name is though, because well, Betty Boop I know is just a silly name for your TikTok, but then we have Kim on your Spotify, and then I pulled up your Instagram and it says Randy. So I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah. That would be one thing I would do before you start pushing out more music is consolidate your
Right.
hidden
Okay,
motion.
so
Okay.
oh, okay, nice, nice. Okay, so what I would like to talk about, it really is just going to depend on what your personal career goals are when it
Got you,
comes to your
Bones.
music, like we were saying earlier. So feel free to drop that in the chat if you know. If you don't, then no worries at all. I'm too old for that now. Okay, so are you essentially wanting to create a new artist profile with new distribution, or like just let us know some of what your goals are? Randy is good. Oh, we can call you that? Okay, perfect. Okay, so you're going to start a new artist profile with new
Nice.
distribution.
I think that's a good call.
Very cool. Yeah, that is a good call. It gives you just a fresh start, a little reset, which is nice. Okay, so let's go over the rough plan that we like to recommend and advise whenever somebody is in the spot that you're in. So changing my name's on. Okay, nice.
Perfect.
So while you are actively working on building up your music catalog and getting that up to par, finding the producer and the engineer that you want to work with, all that fun stuff, I would be pinning on Pinterest. I don't know if you've gotten to hear me give my Pinterest spiel yet or not, because I know you've been in and out over the last few months. But it is just a really, really good platform and tool for you to do some self discovery. That way, you can, just learn what you would like to put forth as far as the aesthetic of your new artist, identity goes. Ideally, you want it to have an identifiable brand and aesthetic that you can put on all platforms, and it's really recognizable as Randy, or whatever you end up going by as your music name. So while you're working on your music and all that stuff, I would just have fun. Especially if you're already on Pinterest, it's going to be really easy. Just start a new board on there, and title it Randy Music or whatever you're aiming to go by, and then pin anything and everything that feels like it rings true for something inside of you. I wouldn't overthink it at all. I wouldn't even second guess. Just if you like it, post it. And once you have 10 to 15 posts in there, Pinterest algorithms will get really, really good at catering more of what it shows you to that aesthetic. And there should be a clear aesthetic that begins to take shape and form from that. Then whoever you work with as far as your branding goes, it's going to be much easier on them to develop something that really feels, like it rings true to the identity you want to put forth, how you want to be perceived by your audience. All those things are things I would think about while pinning.
Of course.
But yeah, of course. So that's just a good place to start as far as next steps go. Once your brand is actually established, that's going to be the foundation of everything, of what everything else flows from, essentially. So I highly recommend working on that for a few months. Honestly, the longer you can post in there, the better. We have every single one of our branding clients go through this process. And I just like to see months of posting because it shows consistency in what they're liking. That way, a few months down the road, they're not like, oh, I don't know, I jumped the gun on this and it's not really feeling like me. I already want to shift and stuff like that. It's really not ideal to like go full force in an aesthetic unless you're sure that it's going to be, solid for at least a year or two.
Yeah.
That way you're not taking everyone on a ride with you and people know what to expect when they're coming to, become a fan. So that will be the foundation. From there, you'll develop every single platform, completely maximized to each individual platform and how they best like you to set it up. And it's going to have that identifiable, consistent, and cohesive aesthetic across platforms. And then from there, will all be about marketing and putting out your music, which is the fun part, right? You only have to, I always like to encourage people, you only have to do the branding stuff once, then it's just all about the fun stuff. Am late diagnosed autistic mom, and because my entire platform is about mental health, should I maybe lean into that? I love that. Yeah, I think
100%.
that's great. Anything that humanizes and sets you apart is going to definitely be encouraged on the marketing side of things.
Yeah.
So anytime we talk about marketing, especially in music, you are your brand, you are the product essentially. So anything that you can give people to like relate to and connect with you on is going to be a really, really big, recommended idea. So
Yeah,
I love
because
that.
that it's your story, your perspective, your worldview is what makes you unique, right? It's what is the source of your art, and so I would always lean into that. Otherwise, you just the
Absolutely.
next pop artist or the next whatever, and I think that's where like a lot of people get hung up is they just think they want to be the next rapper, the next artist, the next whatever, and so they just kind of fall into a mold of what they see everyone else doing, as opposed to trusting their intuition and building a brand around who they actually are, which is what's going to make their voice unique and allow it to cut through.
Mhm.
So I would 100% do that.
And those are all things that you can put like in your description on Spotify, in your description on
Yeah.
YouTube, in any bios that you have listed out anywhere, a website eventually, stuff like that. Your merch can be influenced by it. There's so many ideas that I have now. Once you are ready to get to that point in the marketing, we can definitely talk and help you out in that way. But for now, while you're building up your catalog, I would say just have fun with the Pinterest and
Yeah.
get ready for the next steps. Essentially, it can happen as quickly as you want it to, but those, I don't want to overwhelm you with like too much too quickly.
Sure.
So basically, just in your journey as you go throughout it, if there's ever any questions you have or any way that we or Obsidian Key can help, just know that we are here and we have your back. For
100%.
for those of you that don't know, we do have the obsidiankey.com. We launched it back in February, and it really is just we call it Obsidian Key Creative House, just to help creatives, artists, producers, musicians be empowered and encouraged throughout their journey. There's not many people helping, facilitate and giving you practical tools and steps and, helping you along your journey. So we wanted to fill that gap.
100%. But man, y'all show some love to Betty
Absolutely.
Boop right here in the
Thank you
chat.
so much for being here.
so
And thank you for
glad.
your patience. Shout out to
100%.
Joseph. I don't think he's here right now, but shout out to Joseph for that little boost. I'm really glad that we finally got
So
to hear it.
kind. So kind. So kind.
And thank you for being patient. We really appreciate that.
Really appreciate it. Y'all show some love to Betty. And the song that you heard is out on all platforms. So if you want to, you can stream it.
That's awesome.
That's the name. Torvik is what drew me in. As a
We can't wait to
Norwegian
visit.
person, so familiar. I would love to visit Norway. Would love
Sam,
to
that's a
so
great
much.
plan. The outfits, all that stuff. That's exactly why we recommend it, because it really is the only platform that has those algorithms that really, really help on the visual side of things, and really any visuals. But yeah, super cool.
Yeah, man, I would love to take a trip to Norway. That sounds phenomenal, especially right now, currently. All right, man, let's keep it going. We've got East of Edo in the building. But y'all show some love one more time
I'm
to Betty
excited.
Boop in the chat. I love anytime we get a chance to hear an Edo song. We got Sam over
That
on
song
Twitch
is so
right
catchy.
now.
It's in my head.
I know. It's like it's locked in. It's really good. It's got a
Okay,
really
Sam,
good
that
structure.
makes sense. I think it can be really extra difficult when, it's a band and there's so many different members with so many
Different
different
perspectives,
vibes and opinions and things like that. So Pinterest is a really, really good tool in that way, where you
Gotcha,
can
guys.
invite at least a couple of maybe the head, more of the like people that take charge in your band, which I would assume is you, and maybe you can have one other person that you collaborate well with. And just get on that board and start pinning anything and everything that you feel like rings true to the vibe that you want to put forth in the band. And then I'm sure there's something that you guys can compromise on and have some kind of a clear aesthetic that can take shape. Sounds good, Betty. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you for coming in so much. And then yeah, Jazz, as soon as I
Or Randy, I'm sorry. I think we can start calling you Randy.
Yeah.
We'll do our best, but if we call you Betty, don't hate us.
yeah,
It's just so much easier.
Just
Yeah.
because is what we see. And then, okay, Jazz, as soon as I see that, I'll get you up on the board, man. I got you. All right,
There are
is
3 of us that take the lead, the bass players along for the ride.
I honestly feel like that's like an ongoing joke with bass players. They're just like, I'm just fucking here.
Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, then maybe all 3 of you can get added to the Pinterest. You can collaborate with however many people on a board. So it's a good idea to get, the 3 main leads then on that board and just start doing it.
Definitely.
It's kind of like, I know it can seem like a daunting task, but really do your best to have fun with it, because it really can be a fun process.
Definitely. All right, y'all. This is just a demo as far as I'm aware. This is Day Before by East of Edo. Phenomenal band.
I'm
Based out of
excited.
Houston, am I remembering correctly?
I think that sounds right.
I think Houston. So if you're ever in the area and they got shows and stuff like that, definitely go support. This is
Okay, nice. Yeah.
Day Before by East of Edo. Let's run
Yeah,
it.
because we need to catch a live show sometime.
I know if y'all ever do anything in San Antonio, let us know.
Or Austin.
Right.
Burned every bridge for love and gold, telling lies that are overtold. 'Cause my head's in whispers, twisting on my soul. All of these voices, they're puncturing the fold. So tell me, down in Tokyo, I feel it coming in a winter snow, drowning out this fire inside. I can't let it go. Down in Tokyo, a stranger coming home. 'Cause on my mind, I'm feeling all these eyes, captured by the light, this architect's design. I'm paralyzed, shackled and hypnotized. I'm waiting for blue skies. So tell me, down in Tokyo, I feel it coming in a winter snow, drowning out this fire inside. I can't let it go. Down in Tokyo, a stranger coming home.
That would, Andrew. We're moving back to our hometown, San Antonio.
Compromise these things that I'm feeling inside. You bear your eyes, you sympathize and change my mind. No more gone.
This has such a good nostalgic sound.
It does. It really does.
Down to Tokyo, I feel it coming. In a winter snow, drowning out this fire inside.
Where are you at, Andrew?
I can't let it go. Down to Tokyo, a stranger coming home.
Let's go.
That
Let's
was
go. Let's
sick.
go. Yeah, show some love. That
Speaking of the
is-
early 2000s,
I
that was
know.
really giving me 2005 vibes, and I loved it.
Exactly. It's like reminding me, even, and I know this will be produced more. I know this will build out more just having heard y'all's music, but it's kind of like reminding me of like mid 2000s, The Fray a little bit and like stuff like that. This kind of like grungy, raw rock, but like a little underproduced. Like it's not super tight and quantized. It's a little bit more natural sounding. And I actually really like that for y'all's sound. I don't know if there's like a plan to produce this farther. Nothing wrong with that because y'all do that really well. But I am kind of liking this like early 2000s, like dry, tight snare. It's a little higher, a little higher tuning, a little bit sharper. I'm kind of liking that feel. It's working really well for y'all's sound. And I also feel like you have an opportunity, just loosely speaking, right? You have an opportunity to tap into that nostalgia, which I think is a superpower, right?
It's having a moment.
Like
yeah.
we've said, like we've talked with a couple artists now. It's like modern music is any music that you want to make. So there's people that are doing like, I mean, you take someone like what's that rock band that sounds like Queen now, super high voice?
Oh yeah, I can't think of them right now.
Yeah, I can't think of the name, whatever. But the love, right? The band that sings that song.
No,
Think
here
of the follow.
I'll find it.
Look it up and then we'll know it. But bands like that, like we talked about Chapel, we talked about a couple other artists that are
Greta Van Fleet, yeah.
Greta Van Fleet that are utilizing a more retro sound, whether that's 70s and 80s, whether that's like 90s hip hop, whether that's like early 2000s like pop and club and like alternative rock and stuff like that. The modern sound is whatever is like feels authentic and natural to you. So I do think you have an opportunity to dig into some other sound design that is still authentic to y'all, but does tap into other eras, which is really fun to listen to. Let's go straight into it. I like this format a lot. I love moving into the halftime late in the track. Super, super cool. Let's get it. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and Sam, let us know if there's anything we can help with in your journey. I know we talked a little bit about Pinterest, but let us know if there's any other, hangups you guys are experiencing and anything we can do to help in that way.
100%. And then real quick,
Like my love.
let's see. I just want to make sure.
Oh.
Got you.
And then guys, if we don't have the list right, can you guys go check the list and just make sure that we have everyone's credit accurate?
Okay, I think I do have that.
And if
10,
not, then
so-
just let us know what the discrepancy is. We'll double check it.
Jazz, I think I do have yours here, so you should be good if I'm seeing that correctly. And then let
While
me
you start your
update the
breakdown, I need
line.
to use the restroom really quick.
Perfect. All right, let's get into it. We'll talk about vocal structure here. Let's dive in. It's on Twitch and YouTube. So if you go to my link tree and click on See the Line, our main platform is the purple app, is Twitch. So if you want to see the line, the order, the minimums, if you want to see the chat from all of the different platforms, so TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, if you want to get cleaner audio, so it's uncompressed audio going into Twitch and YouTube, and it's a bit more compressed and different quality on TikTok through the iRig and through their service. So it's kind of just like an overall more conducive experience over on Twitch. So that is our main platform. If y'all wouldn't mind following over there, subbing if you want to, all that good stuff. But Jazz, I did get you updated and you're good to go. All right, let me get back into the track. East of Edo, Day Before. Let's dive in. Y'all always have really like clean, really distinct like riffs in your music too, Sam. Like I just like it always feels very connected and really, really, I love that. Like I immediately feel like each song has its identity, which I think is fantastic.
Burned every bridge for love and gold. Telling lies that are overtold. 'Cause my head's in whispers twisted.
Okay, Okay, first, you know me, I've got ideas, so let's talk some ideas. E minor. Just kind of opens up the melody there. Let me back it up a little bit. So my first instinct on the vocal structure in this first verse is the first 3 lines are 3 different melodies, right? 3 different, slightly different rhythm starts, slightly different melodies on each one. They kind of start similar and then change again. So what happens is, as far as like learning the song, like just on the consumer end, right? Like figuring out the song, its catchiness, its repetition, it's so close to the same, but then different kind of each time. Like you start on one beat, the second part you start slightly later, and then a slightly different melody. And so it's like just different enough each time that I feel like it might be additionally complex to like really lock into that melody. Let me hear the second lyric here. I would recommend doing the first 2 melodies because they're the closest, the same, and then switching for the last 2, but doing the first 2 consistent so that immediately your brain kicks into pattern recognition mode, and your first couple riffs here, your first couple vocal melodies feel a little bit more locked in.
Every bridge for love and gold.
Starts late.
Telling lies that are overtold.
So the burned every bridge in I've ever known, every lies overdone. Small change is fine, but like the main structure of the melody is like exactly the same. So you can have the small change that leads to your B section of the verse, but I do think it would just be more consistent and feel more cohesive to just lock in that first da 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 da. Oh no, till every life is overgone. No, no, no. Like, so you can like do a B section that shifts kind of like it already does here. So timing of the second phrase locked in with the first. That's what I would do. I would keep the melody and phrasing as close to the same on the first phrase to the second phrase, and then shift to the higher note, because it goes to a higher note on the third phrase. I like that, because I do like, you don't want it to be robotic. You do want it to change a bit, but I would keep like your first 2 phrases at least closer, because they're slightly different melody and a different rhythm. So I personally, as far as just being able to remember the song and it feeling catchy and feeling, like it's got a healthy repetition to it, I would keep those first 2 the same on both verses. Yeah, that should be good here.
Thank you. Yeah, that happens for
I'm
sure.
I'm like that. I have to self-edit my music all the time.
Literally with me too, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'll put a bunch of great ideas out there, but I'm like, well, I like it because I like what I'm doing, but then at the same time, I'm like, but that's probably
can
not the best
imagine
way.
Me trying to do choir in high school for 1 year. That's all I lasted 1 year, because the instructor kept being like, why do you keep like adding
Changing it.
things to it and changing it? Yeah,
I
I'm
was-
like, this is boring. Like, god
Dude,
damn.
I was the same with, it was like a nightmare teaching me piano sometimes, because I would be playing like
Add
a
your
rock,
own
like a
flair.
rock mono off piece, and I'd be like, I don't want to do the next part. I like this one. I just always wanted to make it my own, which is, that has helped me a lot, right? That ear training and stuff has helped me a lot, and my more modern career as an engineer and producer. But it's still, I like to switch things up a lot. I've my brain likes to go in all different directions, and so I think I have to sometimes like rein it in to definitely like find the balance between creativity,
Exactly.
spontaneity, and then what is like palatable as a song, right? And then again, there's a place for that in there's a place for like a really strict structure, and then there's a place for
Totally.
Bohemian Rhapsody. You know what I mean? Which is twists and turns all the way around, and it's legendary because the quality is so good. So it really just depends on execution. But
Which still has a
side
lot
note.
of technicalities, and
100%.
Yeah.
That's like a classical song almost.
I mean, yeah.
Burned every bridge.
I love these initial melodies though. Bass walk is great. And so I'd repeat. See how it comes in late? It's almost like it's just like missing the first word. It's like, da da da. It almost is just like missing the da 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 da, which is how the first one starts. It's just like missing that first phrase. So maybe there's some manipulation of the lyrics and the phrasing that would make it tie together a little bit more, because it ends up kind of the same, but it just starts late without the first phrase. And then shift here.
Twisting on my soul. All of these voices, they're puncturing the fold. So tell me, down and told.
I really like the hook though. Great melody.
Yeah, super catchy right there.
There's the repetition. Small change. Love it. Let me hear the first part here real quick. Perfect. So that's exactly kind of what I'm imagining for the verse. And honestly, it's like an easy way to write, to keep, it does balance the repetition perfectly. And it does one of my favorite ways of creating a hook, and to go back into your initial melodies. You know, hear it first. And then change it up to some other melody, but then you come back to down in Tokyo. It comes back around to that melody, and it kind of places your brain on a loop right there, because it comes back into the same melody. So catchy. That's what we're all going to be humming later. It really just locks it in. It's an
already
earworm.
stuck in my head.
Yep, exactly. And so if you can make that for a version of that in your verses as well, your entire song start to finish, it just gets locked in whether you like it or not. It's really, really catchy. And that's why I think musical riffs are great. Good lead lines for your synths and your guitars are great, because then every element of the song, from your drum groove and its consistency, your bass patterns with the kick, your vocal structure, your melodies, they all have elements. They're all different. They have some spontaneity. They'll change throughout the course of the song, but everything has its elements of repetition and structure that make it so catchy. That's why like a good, like a classic like piano line like that, da, 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 da. Like those really like locked in melodies like that. It makes the instrumentation just as catchy as the lyrics. Then you have a super power song. You know what I mean? Like then everything's catchy. Exactly. AABA, 100%. I love that. Well, it isn't AA. AABA is another term for having two of the same melody, a shifted melody, and then back to the same melody. But yeah, I'm sure ABBA does it too.
I was like, honestly.
I'm sure ABBA does that too.
Double meaning there.
Right, exactly.
I was like, honestly. Okay.
It both works. They both work.
That's so funny. Dude, I haven't heard Boston in so long.
Same. And then back. This also, dude, I mean, I could also, depending on processing, depending on the way you structure, could also see this being kind of a Coldplay a little bit. Like it just has a lot of that like influence. I think if you build out the guitar and drum structure, add in some like strings, some cello with maybe one like analog pad in there, just glue stuff, right? But I think strings in this, like dun, 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 with that same like faster like syncopated like hat structure, 100%. I just think there's so much potential. It really, if it's an easy listen, I like it a lot. I would focus on structure vocally for the verses. Might need to manipulate lyrics to make that work, but I think the main riff for the guitar is great. Drum structure is fantastic, easy, simple, nice and punchy. And then I think the hook is gold. Hook is very, very catchy. It's really well done. It's already locked in. I already feel like I know half the lyrics.
Right. That's perfect.
And this is a different initial melody for the second verse. Something to think about. Do you want to start back with the same, start with the same melody from the first verse and then shift it to something else? I think some things that there's not really a right answer to it. It's just something I would ponder as a band. Do we want to start, so we're at like a minute 10. Do we want to start the second verse with here with the burn? So you have the Tokyo,
Yeah.
Burn. Like to me, that feels so familiar. There's no right answer, right? They can kind of do whatever they want. Sing the same thing. Verse 2 is going to be an uphill battle, right? So like that's up to y'all, right? As the creatives to figure that out. To me, as a consumer of it, there's something very warm and familiar about going straight back to the minor again.
A consumer and a producer engineer.
Right. I see.
I'm like, you can't sever those two
I
parts
know,
of yourself
they're
because
the
you
same.
always say a consumer. I'm like,
I'll
the
listen as a
general
consumer, explain it as a producer, right? But when I listen to that, that immediately feels
You're
like
gonna be a biased
a
consumer. is
breath
basically
of,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
for sure. A breath of, I see its potential, and I feel like you might potentially miss out on some of that potential of back getting to that same melody
There you
and a
go.
crowd of people singing it with you, knowing like first time listening to the song, you already know half the second verse because you already know the melodies. You already know the with it twice. Here's my recommendation. This is my recommendation for most verses, regardless, to start the same and then go off the walls. Go crazy, right? So go into it and so you scratch that itch, right? I've been versing out it's down and okay, whatever. And you go into the next hook right there. Allowed, like, if you can kind of scratch both itches, right? Exactly. And I still think that's healthy. Like, I still think that's like a good balance.
Yeah,
It's a good balance.
definitely.
Most second verses, you want a little bit more story, a little bit more context, but you do want some changes. You don't want to be copy and paste over melodically. So I still think that's the decision I would make regardless, as long as you can be strategic with it. But I think there is something to be said about familiarizing people. Most people are hearing you for the first time. If they really like it, then they like it for a reason and they'll come back to it. But if it's their first time hearing it, you want it to be as like familiar as possible while still honoring the creative decisions you want to make. So I always think it's a good idea to at least start your first bar, your first measures with the original melody, and then have fun after that, right? Float away with it a little bit. And I think you can have a little bit more freedom. It's the same way of like you go into a last hook in the song and like you have the foundation that's like your melody, but then you have the vocal doing falsettos over the top, doing whatever they want because you've laid the foundation already. If you don't lay the foundation, then it's just too hard to remember, and that'll be reflected in your replay value. Okay, let me get back into the second verse, into the outro here. That's honestly really the only thing. The song needs to be fully produced because you just need to go through the process y'all are going to go through. It's going to sound amazing. I already know.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. The structure is great. Biggest thing I would focus on, which you already brought up, I think is just that vocal structure. If you can find a balance between the different opinions, then I really feel like you have a phenomenal, modern but still nostalgic approach to the song, which I think would be really cool.
In a winter snow, drowning out this fire inside. I can't let it go. Down to Tokyo, a stranger coming home.
Tight pocket
Tell
too.
me why
Great.
I analyze, compromise these things that I'm feeling inside. You bear your eyes, sympathize and
I love that.
change my mind.
It's a great relief. It's a great, because all of a sudden it's like a little tighter. You get this breakdown. It feels a little darker, a little bit more. Post Malone. Let's go, dude. I love it. It just changes the mood for a second, which gives you like a relief from like the major over the Tokyo, right? With the progression, it does give you like a good sense of relief underneath the track, which I think is fantastic. I really do think that it's a good input. And it's also short. I think oftentimes the mistake people do in throwing in a bridge or a tag leading into their last hook or double hook is they make it like 60 seconds long, 45 seconds long with an instrumental to start it, and then like 4 breakdowns, like a full 16 bars or something like that. The fact that it's distinct, it has, and everyone is, and again, just depends on what you want. This structure though does feel tight. Still has like replay value. Still has, you don't really need a radio edit or anything like that. It's still 3 minutes on the dot. It's nice and tight. It's really consistent. I think you're in a good spot. And again, I have plenty of, I have a bunch of old songs that are like 5.5 minutes long because I just had like a minute and a half instrumental interlude in the middle of the song just because I liked it. Who cares? You know, who gives a fuck? You kind of do do whatever you want to do. But if I have a song that I know has the potential to be playlisted, the potential to be streamed with more replay value, I try to be as self-aware about that as possible. To where if I'm just like, this song to me is strictly message forward and creative, I'll do whatever I want with it. I don't even care if the intro's long. I don't care if it's optimized. I just want it to be what it is because I want to get that creativity out. But if I have a song, I'm like, this is more of a radio song. This is a song that could get placed. This is a song that could get spins. Then I will approach it creatively from that standpoint too. Still have my vision for the song, but format it in a way where I'm not like kind of knowingly missing out on the value of the song. But I play both worlds. You know, it just depends on each song, what you want from it. 100%. Like on those songs, I'm not crying because they don't have streams. I'm like, yeah, I know, I get it. I know why people aren't pushing it and sharing it and adding it to content because it's not built for that. And then there's other songs that I knew, like even like this, and I don't get tons of streams or anything like that. But my song, like I'm Gone, it's like 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Falling For, it's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Safe is I think a little bit later, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, something like that. But those are like tighter song structures. They're more like verse hook.
And they're the ones that have more.
And they're the ones with 45,000 streams, 35,000 streams, 30,000 streams. That's not crazy numbers or anything. But as far as my catalog goes and the fact that I never promote my music, those have been playlisted on editorials. Those are the ones that have been picked up. And I can see the format of why. And so this is, yeah, it's honestly just has to do with a little bit of self-awareness, which I think a lot of artists don't have. Y'all do. It just comes with intention, self-awareness, and really building your song structure accordingly.
I'm always a big fan of extended cuts and
100%.
radio edits too. Like
100%. I am too. Love the halftime break here. It's great.
It is, yeah.
Down in Tokyo, I feel it coming.
Got you, Loans. I got you with good buzzes.
Drowning out this fire.
Appreciate you. Yeah, got you. I just saw that. Thank you so much.
Got me jumping in the kitchen.
I love it, dude.
I need a snack. I'm hungry.
I know.
I'm like, what are you cooking?
And this is literally just a demo. I mean, this isn't mixed. It's not even like fully final produced.
That's what's incredible. Like, you guys are so talented.
It's a testament to like good tracking, just like a good vocalist, good drummer, good, you know, instrumentalist across the board. When this gets fully, and I highly encourage you all, go look up East of Ito on Spotify, listen to their finished records. You'll watch their live show stuff. Mm-hmm. They are very, very talented and they're polished. They work with great engineers, great producers. They're all fantastic musicians and fantastic songwriters. Yeah, literally, this is just like a demo. Let's see how this sounds. We have two audio engineers in the band. It helps. Trust me, dude. As somebody who has to do it for themselves, it helps having people in the mix of what you're doing who know what they're doing.
Awesome.
It also helps because you will facilitate productions that you already know work, right? I know as I'm producing something when things aren't going to work and when I'm going to need to balance them again because I do the engineering on my own productions. And so it definitely helps knowing that, hey,
East of Ito is the band name.
We can't have these 3 different guitar parts because they're going to clash. I already know it because I can picture myself mixing the song and it's going to be a nightmare. Please go check out their music. They're widely talented, just good people do, man. We love you.
Absolutely. I love following you guys on
so fun. Y'all are doing it very well.
Media.
And then, yeah, please let us know if you have any other questions or input that you're looking for. And let me go ahead and pull up.
I feel like it's a while since I went to look at y'all's Spotify. Let me check it out really quick.
And then I'm going to use the restroom really quick. And then I believe we've got Loans, Jazz, and I think I have one other on there.
Can you bring me a snack on our way back?
Yeah, and Dr. Dreams.
Down in Tokyo.
So catchy.
I know. It can be on your way back. Like it's so far. Let's see. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Y'all's description is really good. There's one thing I can see. Does like a certain filter help with aesthetic? Yeah, it definitely can. That is one way to do it. If you want to make it easy on yourselves, you know, just adding a specific aesthetic with your filters. to all of your posts is an option. But I would definitely expand that into more of like, what is the artistic feel? You know what I mean? Like, think about if and when you guys come out with merch. I know you guys might already have some, right? Let me go check. Let's see. I already have y'all on Instagram. It's just hard because we can't always use the same one. Right. Okay. No worries. I'll pull it up on your link tree. Because right now I do feel like there is a little bit of a lack of like an identifiable brand that's like, oh yeah, East of Edo, I know what their vibe is. You know what I mean? Like, I know what your vibe is as far as the musical genre type goes, but I don't know what the visual aesthetic is. And that is not ideal, you know? Let's see. Yeah. I mean this not in a rude way, but it's like right now things are just a bit generic. You know, like even the shirt that you do have, it's not identifiable. It's not like, okay, yeah, this is who we are visually. Okay, so yeah, hop on the Pinterest, get the 3 of you on there, and just start pinning a ton of shit. Like, don't even, like I said, don't even second guess. Don't overthink it. Just start pinning stuff. And hopefully, with the 3 of you doing that, there's some cohesion and some level of like, hey, I think we're kind of seeing that we do have some similar vibes that are crossing over. You know what I mean? And then if you guys need help with your branding, of course, we would be honored and happy to help however we can. I think that'll help a ton. Like, honestly, that probably is a big missing link for the band overall. All of it. So literally, like, when I say inspiration, it can be anything from I mean, because nothing is off limits as far as what inspires you visually.
I'll show you just like my front page
Yeah,
of mine,
you
so you can
did,
kind of see.
Joseph. We were wondering where you went. I was like, Joseph took his credit and ran. I'm glad you're back. I'm sorry that work made you miss it. We'll have to drop it in the Discord. Okay, yeah. Let me give you some
like, you can just see like the front. Hopefully it'll like come through like a little bit.
Yeah.
Even just like on the front page of mine.
You can see the vibes.
I'll scroll down here a little bit. So there's not just ads. Sometimes, so the ads get annoying. But you'll see like there's some music stuff, there's some architecture, there's some animation, there's just some like vibes, like I like kind of dark, moody, academic 80s, like, whatever. I like classic cars, retro synths, and that's all presented in that you can kind of see, and that's just for me posting a bunch of stuff on there, and then you start to get this kind of like 80s neon moody aesthetic, and then when you start to see more of the fashion and stuff on there, it's more reflective of what I like, and you start to just see like, here's the mood that is my personality.
So here's the Obsidian keyboard. Here's some of our clients. You can see the aesthetics. I'm sure they won't mind. Just to give you an idea of the types of things you can pin in there to get an overall feel and aesthetic begin to take shape, Here's one. And of course, it would be catered to you guys. And then, so since these are our clients, I can show you their mood board that we ended up creating for them. Let's see.
And then loans. I just want to make sure you're in the chat. You're coming up.
What was that? That was a goal reached. I don't know what though.
Wait, was that over here? Wait, what happened? Oh, Joseph. I was like, I don't know what
Joseph,
screen.
thank
I don't know
you.
what screen. Thank you for the tiny dimes,
You're the
man.
best.
And it's like, wait, I was like looking at the laptop, looking at my other screen. I was like, wait.
Okay, so
what
for
am I
that
missing?
first board, for
Thank you
that
so much,
first
man.
Pinterest board, here's their brand mood board. Let's see if it'll show up. Hopefully. Oh yeah. It's maybe too bright, or I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, and then here's for that second board. Thank you. I
Yeah.
can't reach it. So there you go. You kind of have an idea of like how aesthetics can begin to take shape, and then you
Mhm.
always have that to run things by, if that makes sense. So you always have that mood board for your band, and it's like, okay, we're launching merch, we're doing this event, we're working on our website. Does this fit this board's aesthetic? Because that's what our overall aesthetic is. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? I hope so. We haven't gotten these in a while.
I know. I could get you more. I just that was the one that.
No,
I
it's
pulled up at
okay.
the top. I know they're tiny. man.
But they're really little compared to what
itty-bitty.
we've been eating now.
But man, if you are not already, please go stream East of Vito's music.
Absolutely.
They're incredibly talented, very, very, very intuitive with their sound. It's great quality stuff. Like it's not amateur in any way. It's really, really good quality music. So y'all show some love to the family. We love y'all so much, man. I appreciate you sending that in.
So start by pinning a bunch of stuff to like general board and then make a brand mood board. Yeah, exactly. If you have somebody that does branding in the band, then that's perfect. If you
Yeah.
want to work with someone to establish your brand or help you do that, then we would be honored and would be happy to offer you guys a discount.
100%. We got Loans in the building.
Just keep us updated.
This is a lullaby by Loans. I'm excited to get into it. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Anytime, man. We love
Definitely.
and appreciate y'all so much. Love your music. All right, Loans, give me. Thank you so much for the cheers. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the
so
bits.
much, Sam. That's really sweet. That
That's
was really
love, man.
generous. Yeah.
That's love.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for the
And
love.
then just as a reminder, I'm going to share our website right here in the chat. Just so you have it. Thank you so much,
Boom. I
Sam.
love that about Twitch.
I always love whenever we get to hear y'all's music.
It's a treat. Absolutely.
Definitely.
A
And it's
treat.
been a while, so we were due.
All right, this is Lullaby by Loans. Loans, hop in the chat and give me all of the details. I'm going to see if there's anything here. I don't see it in the email. So, yeah, talk to me about production. Is this a YouTube beat, BeatStars? You did it, worked with someone. Your role in this track as the engineer, self-engineered, going to a studio, what you used, all that context. Let me know. That way we can get into some of the details here. But this is Lullaby. I'm assuming because I have the file that it's unreleased, but please let me know if it is out on platforms. I can look it up there too. But let's get into it. I'm excited. Let's see if it'll let me download. There we go. Yeah. Like that sample.
Everybody wants you, but girl, you don't see it. What is wrong with you? 'Cause now I see what you've been hiding. You got a lot of emotions bottled up. Don't be afraid to pour it out of me. I listen 'cause I don't know when to say it's enough. Don't worry about time even though we don't got a lot. I'll show you the way, grab
Nice.
your waist. I'll take control, steer you away from everything going on in your mind. Everything is fine, let my words just sink in. La 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 la.
Cool. Sounds good. Perfect. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Hey.
It's always fun to be able to work with friends.
You got everybody tripping over you, but you don't seem to know that.
It's a good mix. It's well balanced.
Everybody's telling you that you should leave this handling, you deserve better.
Good saturation on the vocal.
I don't really care, baby girl, you grown, you know the difference. You know the definition of good when you see it.
Love the low register.
Really care. I'm just going with afraid to pour it out of me. I listen cause I don't know when to say it's enough. Don't worry about time even though we don't got a lot. I'll show you the way, grab your waist, take control, steer you away from everything going on in your mind. Everything is fine, let my words just sink in. La, 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 la. 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 La, 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 la.
Nice.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yo, show some of the Loans, dude. I love this. I haven't heard your music before, right? Remind me if I have, please.
Oh yeah, sorry. Loans makes a lot more sense. I was like low ends, like bro. I'm sorry.
It depends on the spell. I mean, it could be low ends. I could be butchering that this whole time. But that's Lullaby. First time being here, Loans. I'm so glad we got to hear this, man.
Yeah,
really,
happy.
really cool, man. Y'all give it up for Loans. This song comes out on the 25th. So you got like 2 weeks ish, or like a week and a half before this.
No, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. I'm not good at reading names. I'm like, I'm not dyslexic, I don't think, but
we just see so many random names pop up with
Yeah.
like a 3 instead of an E and like whatever stuff. So we're
Yeah,
always
for
trying to figure it out. So please correct us if we ever say anything wrong. But that is Lullaby by Loans. Comes out in about a week and a half. So definitely, I'm assuming like next Friday, probably, right? Definitely show some love. Make sure you're following on all platforms that you can find them. And let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. For sure. We do our best, man. We do our best. Let's run it from the top. So honestly, this comes out here pretty soon. So I'm going to mention a couple things. Honestly, it's a really well-balanced mix. I think you have a fantastic performance. Feels confident. It feels bold. I feel like the beat's got some swing to it. It's sexy. I think it's got all the things that you want out of the song. For what is right here in front of me, sounds fantastic. Honestly, sounds really good. It's a nice, clear vocal mix.
really quick, before Torvik jumps into
the music
takes a
breakdown.
dump. No, before Torvik jumps into his
God damn it.
breakdown. If you wouldn't mind letting me know where you're at in your personal career, if you have anything distributed, or just what your goals are, so we know how to best help you on the other side of things.
Hell yeah, 100%. So I'll mention a couple things for the song that I think, personal opinion, just stylistic choices that I think would add some life to what you're doing that you can take to a future record, right? So take it less as of a correction of what's here, because the song's about to come out. You're locked in. You're ready to go. I'm assuming it's already in distribution, but just some stuff that you can take into your future record that I think would liven up your song structure and give it a little bit more impact and a little bit more power. But this is Lullaby by Loans. Let's run it from the top. Honestly, great song structure, catchy melodies. Love it.
Everybody wants you, but girl, you don't see it. What is wrong with you? 'Cause now I see what you've been hiding.
I personally like the space on the intro. I mean, I think you know every person has their own opinion, right, and their own perspective on stuff like this. I think the kind of like amateur like mindset on most of music is I need to fill in every gap. I need something happening all the
Totally.
time. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes
Especially in the TikTok hip hop space.
definitely and like R&B and like modern R&B and hip hop, especially more amateur. It's just like I don't trust the structure of the lyrics that's there on its own, or the vocal performance or the mix on its own. So I feel the need to fill in every gap. We'll talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that later on, but I think you do a great job of starting the song with space, and I don't mind it. You're relying on the delays to kind of fill in some of those
This
gaps,
was tasteful.
and
for
I like
sure.
it. So at the moment as we speak, this will be my 5th song that I've released, and right now I'm at the point where I'm slowly discovering my sound. Love that. I've been doing music for at least 4 years now, and I never used to be confident with what I make, but recently something shifted in me to start releasing more.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. And I think the confidence is warranted. You're doing a great job, man.
You got a lot of emotions bottled up. Don't be afraid to pour it out of me. I listen 'cause I don't know when to say it's enough.
Of course,
Don't
man.
worry about time, even
Warranted.
though we don't got a lot. I'll show you the way, grab your waist, take control, steer you away from everything going on in your mind. everything is fine. Let my words just sink in. La 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 la.
Okay, so this to me is probably the biggest aspect of this breakdown that I want to focus on. Voice is awesome. Writing is good. It's cool. It's catchy. I like the space that you have. Now here's the one thing that my brain really wishes that it was hearing here. You do a great job going into your pre-chorus and into your hook, right? So like your pre-hook and your hook. The la la part, in my opinion, I'm establishing like as the hook in this, right? Of you have a lot of space being filled by ad-libs and delays, right? So on that pre-hook, you start to fill in with a bunch of like ping pong delays and some other ad-libs. So there's a lot of space, right? There's a lot of like ambiance and space and reverbs and delays and ping pongs and stuff like that. There's not a lot of depth to the vocal performance. I would, especially in this style, I would love to hear more layers to the vocal itself that are direct stacks of the vocal, right? So right now we're getting a lot of the openness, we're getting a lot of the space and and like the ping pong delay, and stereo is offering you the width I think that you're looking for, but you don't have any like stacked or real, at least prominent direct stacks of the vocal that are offering you some support against the heavy 808 and the percussion structure and stuff like that. I would love to hear, especially going to your pre-hook and hook, maybe dry it out for the verses a little bit, but going into your pre-hook and hook, I would love to hear some doubles of that vocal that are panned out. I would love to hear a low octave. When you go higher, bring in a low octave to keep it grounded and keep it supported. And I would love, you have a great voice, man. I would love to hear some harmonies on your hook. And we can talk through a couple ways to do that. But that to me is one of the very few missing pieces of a record like this, is it feels like there's a beat and there's one vocal and you're relying on ambiance to fill the space, as opposed to just having more layers to the vocal that offer you that ambiance. And so the vocal can feel a little bit lonely in the middle of the mix as far as being like supported. You have a bunch of instrumentation filling out a production and one voice, maybe a couple ad-libs, trying to take care of all of the actual vocal performance.
Welcome in, Matthew. We do actually have a few slots left for today, and this will be our last live for a little bit just because we are in the middle of a move. But if you would like more info, all that can be found at the Linktree in Torvik's profile. You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission, and it's got all the info there. And then it even has an FAQ section if you need further details. But welcome in. Happy to have you. Welcome to the Vibe Tribe.
All right, let me hit this hook again. So like, and even your pre-hook right here. What's up, Y? Welcome in, welcome in.
Yeah, good to see you. It's been a while.
Don't be afraid, pour it all in me. I listen 'cause I know the dance ain't enough. Don't worry about time, even though we don't got a lot. I'll show you the way.
Like having that like low octave that da 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 as just like a grounding element to the higher vocal that you have. It's gonna make it sound way more full, way like there's gonna be so much more body to the mix there. And then like switching to like a third harmony right over the top here when you switch into the B section there.
It's enough. Don't worry about time, even though we don't got a lot. I'll show you the way.
Hold on, let me see.
Very cool, Y.
Take control, steer you away.
We're doing okay. Thank you so much.
Everything is fine. Let my words just sink in.
What I mean, like, so like having the and then as like a, if you had a double of each of that vocal, 50% this way, 50% this way, you have like the stack of that with a double of the original
like
melody.
Stepping down with the original melody.
You could keep it doubled on the original, and then when you do that la la, yeah, you have it la la, and it would like follow that melody on the outside, and you would have like a little stack, right? A little stack that just offers some energy and some depth
like that.
to the
I
vocal.
always love layers. I'm a big fan.
That reminds me more of like early T-Pain records and like stuff like that I feel like just serves this like heavy 808 simple percussion structure, but it's mainly driven by sample and 808 and drums. There's not a lot of other nuance to it. Some pads and synths, right? But like it's like 808 drums and a vocal sample, and then you have a ton of additional information from the vocals that stack it,
Awesome,
right?
Matthew. Happy to have you.
The other thing that this does, Loans, is it gives some contrast to the other parts of the song, right? If your verse is dry, if your verse is just like a lead vocal, not as much peripheral processing and ambiance, it's a little bit more open, right? And there's no layers or very few layers, then when you get into the hook and you have some stacks and you have some energy and you have some like nuanced vocals there, it makes it feel so distinct from the verse. It makes it matter more that your vocal is changing modes right there. I think that to me, that's one of the very few missing pieces to a record like this, and something I would definitely have in a future record from yours. Because this song it's cool, man. I like the way it feels. I like the aesthetic. I like the vibe. It's moody and I like it a lot. So
So a harmony or just a double?
Both.
Okay.
Just a stack. So I would follow it with the double. I was going to make it as simple as possible and letting the beat ride out and carry the energy. And this, I think, is where, for one, good engineering comes into play, Loans, and good vocal comps, right? Because it won't feel, what feels more busy and more complex is the delays. You know, that's what's filling in space. The stacks sit right over your current vocal structure. And I think that's where I think a lot of people kind of get messed up sometimes. They want to simplify, but they sometimes tend, I'm not even saying this just about you, I mean, in generally, they'll kind of simplify the wrong thing, right? So in this case, if you're doing stacks over your exact vocal, then no timing has changed at all. It's just harmonies and doubles of the vocal you already have there. So you're actually not filling in any new information. You're just making the vocal stack you have there super punchy and vibrant, and it's just got chords to it. You know, it's got layers to it.
It's like one of the only things this track is missing,
Yep,
I feel like.
honestly, everything else sounds really good. But what's happening is because it's so simple there.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, exactly. More character. There's more color to it. It just has more depth, right? It has more depth to the mix. And it gives your like, this is what T-Pain just did so well, but it gives so much character and so much like attitude to the vocal because it's got all this like tension to it, which I think is beautiful, right? As opposed to keeping that vocal so simple and so clean that you have to rely on reverbs and delays to fill in all of your gaps. And then it really isn't that simple anymore because there's noise filling in every second of the song, as opposed to like really, really tight vocal stacks. That's what I would focus on. If there was like anything that I would have you like put in some reps on, it would be those vocal layers. Because dude,
definitely.
you have got a great voice. You're a good writer. I like your writing.
Your voice as an instrument.
100%. 100%. Honestly, because I love simple records like this. It lets the vocal shine. It lets your lyrics do all the work. And I think like your lyrics in this genre, this feels commercial, and I mean that in the best way.
And really it feels commercial. Loans, let me know what your Spotify name is under. That way we can start with the breakdown there.
Hell yeah.
You got everybody tripping over you, but you don't seem to know that.
So like even here,
okay, perfect.
I would stack that. And again, this comes down to like vocal production in the studio and stuff like that, right? And like having someone to help you layer those things and like know which harmonies to hit and stuff like that. But on the I would have a stack over that and then empty those out when you don't have to, and then you walk down to a dry vocal, right? So like you start it with dun, like harmonies, right? Dun, 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 and then empty out. You try that out, right? And again, I'll say a lot of things too without the context of the having it sounding like that in the structure. It's too high for you. So another thing that you can do, this is not an invalid. What's up, Sam? This is not an invalid way to do it either. Is record. I've done this plenty of times. I've done this for artists who couldn't record their harmonies. They couldn't find the harmony, or it was too high for them. Where I'll have them record the double, and then I'll pitch the harmony in Melodyne. It's a little bit format shifted. It's going to sound a little bit odd, but you can still create a good stack with it using Melodyne too. But this all depends on like how good the engineer is, how intentional the engineer. I mean, every engineer is different, right? So some people just balance it, mix it, throw auto-tune on it, and it sounds good, and there's no issues with it. And then there's other engineers that'll spend 4 hours melodyning your vocal to be like the most impactful like hit record they can do, right? And there's just a difference, right? Not really a wrong or a right. Just kind of depends on how deep they're willing to go with it. Are they willing to create harmonies from scratch? If they are, that's one way to do it. So if you find like you can't find the harmony, record the double, and then you'll have to manually pitch it into the harmony, which means you have to know a little bit of music theory. You got to be able to find the third. If the engineer can do that, awesome, fantastic. But those are options, right? But I think those stacks will just bring your music to life. Everything else, honestly,
definitely.
Rest of it is sounding fantastic. Let me get into the last hook here. I think, yeah, you got a lot of gold on your hands, man. This is really, really cool.
Can you pull up the Spotify?
Yeah. and then there's a tail at the end of the song. Before you release it, you'd probably want that cut. I don't know if that's on the final or not. Gotcha.
Awesome.
So this is something I would actually double check ASAP. Okay, so the song, the wave that you sent me ends at 2:49. Your file ends at 3:27. So you have 40 seconds of dead space at the end of the track. I don't know if this was the exact file that was uploaded. I would double check it. If your file that was uploaded is 3 minutes and 27 seconds long, the one that was distributed, if it's 3 minutes and 27 seconds long, then you have 40 seconds of dead space at the end and it wasn't cut. You, as soon as you can, will want to probably stop that release, re-upload a new wave to distribution, whatever you're using, that cuts at 2:49. Otherwise, you have a bunch of dead space at the end, which is obviously not going to be ideal for the end. So just double check your file. If it says 2:49 or like 2:52 or something, you're locked in. If it says 3:27, then you have a bunch of dead space at the end of the track. You'll wanna figure out. But man, show some love to Loans. Loans, you're dope, man. I like your sound.
Absolutely.
I like your feel.
You have a really, really good sound and
Super
a
cool.
really cool vocal. Okay, so I pulled up your Spotify and it's killer. I feel like you have a clear aesthetic. It's kind of moody. It's like city urban vibes. I
Yeah.
really like it. So that's awesome there. And then one thing I did notice that you could really enhance is your description section. So it's one word right now. I'll say Spotify gives you 1,500 characters to work with, and that is for a reason. It's so that their algorithms can pick up on SEO, keywords, stuff like that. Anything basically that you can give them to enhance, your opportunities for finding listeners is ideal, right? So definitely work on that description. Focus on keywords like a location, so where you're based out of. Yeah, it actually kind of functions similarly to a what's it called? A social media
Right.
site. So a lot of people don't know that, but they really do function similarly.
Likes,
To
shares,
honestly,
followers,
yeah, like
all that.
YouTube and stuff. So focus on keywords like, a location, what genres you like to tap into, um, tagging specific artists that you pull inspiration from that have a bigger following than you do, and actually making sure you tag them like you would, on Instagram or something. Put the @ symbol in front of their name, wait for their name to pop up, and then click on it so that it fully hyperlinks it. And then what else can you add? Honestly, just any details that you feel comfortable sharing about your journey, or any ways that you can offer something that, would help your audience connect with you is going to be ideal. So it helps the algorithm know if I have more in-depth. Exactly. Yeah, it gives them something to work with, because right now you're not giving them anything. So anything is better than nothing. But some of those details that I just shared specifically will definitely help.
It helps Spotify connect you to other artists, right? So like
Yeah.
if just like I mentioned T-Pain earlier, right? So if a bunch of people listen to T-Pain and you have T-Pain tagged and you have like a thread of people that go to your page, they click on their icon, they go over to T-Pain, there's a thread between y'all's sonics and between your fan base, and it'll
Or
start
Trey
like
Songs or Zayn, or
Yeah.
honestly anyone that you feel like, hey, I've really pulled inspiration from this artist. I always listen to them. I'm obsessed with their music, that type of
Yeah.
stuff. As long as they have a bigger following than you, it's going to be very, very helpful. Even if they don't, but it's ideal for
So if
sure.
they listen to those artists, you might be like, here's other artists similar to this artist. You might
Yeah.
pop up in that thread. And
Definitely.
that takes a bit of, momentum, but
You
yeah.
also want to make sure that your Instagram is linked. So once you sign into that Spotify for Artists account, yeah, absolutely. If you have a Facebook, go ahead and link that. And then if you have Instagram, go ahead or you do have Instagram. So definitely get your Instagram linked. And then I did pull up your Instagram and your bio site. Your bio site looks awesome. I love it. It's very clean, polished. It's got that clear aesthetic. So I really enjoy it. If anything, it could just be filled out a bit more. I'm not exactly sure how BioSite lists things out, but I know on Linktree you can put a preview of your latest YouTube video. So things like that. Any way you can kind of make it function more like a website, and share everything you have going on is going to be ideal. Still trying to build up my Instagram account. It's still a little empty at the moment. Yeah, no worries. I mean, that's
100%.
exactly what we're all aiming to do and working towards. And I'm really glad that you found the Vibe Tribe to, be more a part of the community. If you do !Discord, it'll get you the Discord so that you can also tap in and, collab. There's also a couple promotion channels, stuff like that on the Discord if you're interested. So I did also check out your YouTube. YouTube functions very similarly to Spotify, like I said earlier. So they have 1,000 character limit. So you definitely want to expand that description on there as well. If you're a little lazy, like a lot of us are, you can honestly just copy and paste what you end up putting to Spotify or sharing it to ChatGPT or some kind of AI service and just being like, help me maximize this for YouTube, my YouTube artist profile specifically. And it will help you maximize it and cater it more to YouTube instead of Spotify. But they do function very similarly. But I do appreciate how you have everything linked. You have all of your social platforms and your bio site even linked on your YouTube. So that's set up really well. You got the profile picture, you got the banner photo. So you're really killing it. And I will say I'm proud of a lot of the way you have set up your individual platforms and stuff. So really, really good job there, Loans.
Crushing it, man. I'm super
And then
excited for you,
if you ever
man.
have any specific questions for us, 100% just hit us up. We got your back. That is literally what we designed our business to do, is to help smaller
100%.
artists, independent, even if you sign a deal with a label, any way that we can possibly help you in your musical journey. Of course, I'm always going to prefer to work with indie, but there are some good deals, right? It's not like every deal that people make with labels is a bad one.
Yeah.
But I will just say, on the smaller level of things, people come in here and be like, I have a label for that, so I don't need those tips and stuff. But like, they have a label and their Spotify is ass. Like, it's like they have a label and their YouTube isn't even set up. It's like, it's kind of crazy. A lot of times you're paying tons and tons of money to these labels and they're not doing anything. So yeah, just that's a side note.
Jazz, let me know if you're here.
Let us know. What's the question? It's a really, really good platform. Definitely highly recommend it.
Yep.
I wish that they could pay me for how much I recommend it.
Let's go, Jazz.
What's up, Jazz? Yeah, good to see you. Jazz hands peanut butter. I want peanut butter right now. I'm hungry. So I was curious how Pinterest helps. Yeah, so it's basically just a fully visual platform. And it basically helps. Their algorithms are fully catered to developing aesthetics and, helping you discover a bit about what you enjoy on the visual side of things. Does it help with you? Exactly. Yep, you hit the nail on the head. So it helps in all kinds of ways, to be honest. It really, anything, yes. But yeah, basically there's a ton of outfits on there. What I say to do, and why Retrack is saying hashtag anything, is what I say to do for a brand, which I do feel like you already kind of have a cohesive aesthetic, at least beginning to take shape. I can see it on your Spotify, I see it on your YouTube, but if you want to hone that in even a little bit more, or you feel like you may want to go in a different direction, definitely start a brand board on Pinterest and just start pinning anything and everything that feels inspiring to you and feels like it could be accurate to what you really, really like and enjoy and what feels, good and right. So that is a really good way to begin to see what aesthetic rings the most true for you. But outside of even just the branding, like I said, there is outfit ideas and stuff like that, but you can utilize it for merch inspiration. You can utilize it for album cover artwork, any events you throw in the future, concerts, anything like that. It's a really, really helpful tool. So I highly recommend it.
100%. 100%.
It's also just really, really fun.
It's fun. Yeah, I like it. Y'all, show some love to Loans. You're a beast. I'm excited to hear more from you, man.
It was such a
Super
pleasure
talented.
to have you in today. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that you're part of the Vibe Tribe now.
Of course, man. Anytime. Absolutely anytime. Okay, Jazz, I'm not seeing an email
Thanks
from
for
you.
hopping in
I
today.
double checked a couple different things. Would you mind just making sure it might have been initially sent to the old email? So if you wouldn't mind just double checking really quick the to Track Talk submission and the current email there, just to make sure that's where it's sent. And if I need to search under a different name, let me know and I'll look that up too. But just double check that for me real quick. That way I can make sure I get your
Also,
song
what's
pulled
up,
up.
Retrack? I didn't know if you were still here, but good to see you.
Retrack in the building. Sounds good. No worries at all. I got you up next, so I just want to make sure I got your stuff in.
Oh, nice. We get another Senko track.
Yes, we do.
I didn't notice that. That's awesome.
Snuck in
Yay.
there. Sound of Mars. Is the song released? If it's released, I will look it up on platforms. If it's unreleased, of course, I'll need you to send me the file. And if you had any other details in there, of course, let me know. It is? Okay, so let me...
One more question. Can I squeeze? Yeah, of course.
Go for it
What
while
is
I'm
it?
looking this up.
What were the chords of the song if you were to play it on the piano or guitar?
Oh, I got you. Let me just play it for a second and then I'll figure it out. Sound of Mars. Got it. Okay, so that's Lullaby, right? No, that's right here.
But girl, you don't see it. What is wrong with you?
G sharp minor,
'Cause now I see what you've been hiding.
C sharp minor.
You got a lot of emotion.
Okay, pretty much the whole song is minor. So it's a G sharp minor. Holds there, and it goes to C sharp minor. So G sharp minor, C sharp minor, it goes back, G sharp minor, C sharp minor, and then it goes up to D sharp minor. Those are the only real 3 chords that I hear. So holds there. Kind of does the same start, G sharp minor, C sharp minor, to D sharp minor. That's pretty much the whole thing. G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. All minor. Real Zium, what's your budget and what do you do? All right, let's get into it. Of course, yeah, of course.
Would you mind lowering our
that's fun
mics
stuff.
just a bit? Is that possible? Or at least in my ears?
I'll just have to turn it down.
Thank you, Loans.
Right. And then we've got Sound of Mars. So that didn't pull up any tracks.
It should recheck.
Is it not popping up? Hold on. It's supposed
Could
to
you
be.
just email it to the song submission?
Yeah, if you wouldn't
honestly be
mind,
the easiest.
if you wouldn't mind emailing me, I did find a platform on there, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. Or here, the might be the missing word.
Okay.
There we go. Now it should come in. Retrack. It wasn't activated, I guess. Let me try this one
That is why we have those submission instructions, though, just so that it can flow easier,
for sure.
just for future. Okay, perfect.
Okay, and then the song Shadow. Got you. All right, cool. All right. Give me some details. Talk to me about the structure. Talk to me about who produced it. Is this a band? Is it an artist? Did you self-engineer? Go to a studio. Give me some context. Give me some details. This is out on all platforms. Fun project trio with spouse and brother. Tracked live in my living room. Mixed and mastered by Buddy. Perfect. This is Shadow by the Sound of Mars. Live drums or VST?
You know what you are.
Got you real.
Wish you
I have the recommendation already.
Let us know if it's fixed.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some
Perfect. Thank
love.
you, Katie.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I know it's cut out a couple times today. I'm not
It's
sure why. I
annoying.
just have to keep restarting that, but it's hopefully it's good. That is The Sound of Mars. The song is called Shadows. If you like what you hear, that song is out on all platforms. Go stream it, go like it, go add it to your playlist, etc. Let's get into it. I'm super excited. I mean, it's a fun sound. I really like the intricacies of all the rhythms that are going on, and the overall balance of what's there. I think is pretty good. There's some things I think could be rebalanced lightly, but we'll talk about a couple of those things. And then I have a couple other ideas just to, get your wheels spinning as far as like structuring the production and things like that. But honestly, I like your sound. I like the feel of this. It's got this really interesting
Yeah.
syncopation, drawn out vocals, good doubling and layering on the vocals too. Sounds nice.
Got a
So let's get into it.
grungy, intentionally noisy
Yeah.
feel, and I do like that.
It's raw.
Really quick, let us know what your goals are as far as, are you doing this more for fun? I know you mentioned y'all did this kind of for fun back when you launched it, but do you have any goals for, increasing
Growing
your
and
audience and stuff like that? Or are you just keeping your goal to just do it for fun as you wish and stuff like that?
100%. All right, this is The Sound of Mars, and the song is called Shadow. Where to go? There we go. All right, let's get into it. We'll skip through a couple things. Oh, also really quick, since we have a second, real, I would do if your range is let's say $200 to $300 because they're obviously slightly different price points and stuff, but $200 to $300. There's two or three options I would recommend. If you can get used, awesome, that helps. That would be the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure. That's a fantastic option for about $250 new, 200 used, something like that. Sometimes you can find open box for about 200. The Lawton Audio LA 220, those are about 330 new. Of course, you can find them used. The other would be the AKG 214, C214.
Okay, good to know.
Any three of those would be great. Lewitt LCT 440 Pure.
Museum is here, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
for anyone else, if you're interested.
Those are some great options.
Yeah.
Left to earn an audience. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Do you guys have any social platforms yet or not really?
You know what you are. The shadow.
What are you using for that bass? Is that analog?
See how you are.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Cool.
Okay, let me see.
You're doing a great job of the chorus doublies. 37 or 25. I would love to get a sub 25 or 37. They're fantastic. I love them. You can't see it now and whatever, or you've been here before, so you've seen my synth setup for the most part. But I would love to get a sub 37. Beast of a synth, absolute beast of a synth. And I can hear it. That growl that it has. It's so textural. It's heavy. That sub oscillator is so beefy. I love it. I love it. Fantastic synth. It's juicy. It's all the adjectives. It's got so much to it.
Stand up every now and then.
I know. But good doubling on the vocal. It's a good like chorus double on the vocal that allows it to kind of cut through with a little bit more energy and a little bit more support in the mix against some of the other elements. So I don't know what it is. Let's get into it.
It could just not be your style, and that would be
100%.
valid.
I've already played it wild. I've already played it one time all the way through. We always do several listens of the song. So I've already played it all the way through. This is my second time going to where we always stop it and break it down. So this is going to be a time where it's going to be a little choppier for you.
Sure. But if you
but
would
we've
like
already-
to go check out the full song,
It is out on platforms. You can look up The Sound of Mars, and the song is called Shadow if you do want to stream it and see if you would enjoy it a little bit more. Okay, so let me get into your hook really quick because there's some balancing stuff I want to talk about that I think is making certain aspects of it feel, now I like it raw, grungy, organic sounding. I want it to sound natural. I don't want anything to be overproduced. But there's some aspects of it that to me are a little bit too loose in the way that they're expressed in the mix, whether that's some timing elements, whether that's the way that the elements support each other, whether it's like kick to bass line, whether it's the high end of that bass line to the guitar, the bias of the guitar to the left side without anything to balance it on the right, either a double track coming in on your hook or another synthesis element or another guitar layer or something like that to rebalance the stereo image. Vocal layers I think sound really good, but I think there's a couple elements within the timing and the phrasing of the instrumental that do make it almost feel too loose, a little bit too loose. And I want to not overproduce it, but take those elements into a way where they complement each other a little bit more. And this is different song to song, right? There's going to be probably other songs that you have that have more of what I'm talking about or less of it. Obviously, a lot of this is stylistically, but I do want to get into your hook and break that down a little bit. So right here, you've got this like 30% bias to the left side of the mix with that lead guitar. And then you have your bass. Now the bass, it might have chorusing on it, which is causing it, or some phasing on it to cause it to be panned to the right a little bit, but it does feel like a little off center. I would have that right in the middle. But with your guitar to the left, I don't mind that a little bit emptier on a single track guitar on the verse. It's biased to the left a little bit, but I would love to hear the balance in the stereo field to the right as well going into your hook, so that kind of wakes up the mix a little bit. So if you're single tracking your guitar on the left side, I would double track that guitar on the right side to complement it and open it back up again going into your hook. So it feels dynamic, it feels powerful, the mix feels wide and vibrant. Right now it's kind of compartmentalized to a little bit over here, a little bit over here. The drums are here, the vocals doubled in the middle, but you're not getting some of the openness that I feel like will make this feel a little bit tighter. The only other aspect of this that I feel could be just a little bit more cohesive, a little bit stylistic, so feel free to like ignore some of what I'm saying, right? It's just the way that I perceive it, would be for some of the elements to follow each other a little bit more. Early in the song, you have that the sub 37 following the stutter on the guitar and the stack on the guitar. But once you get into your hook, it from the vocal to the guitar to the bass to the drums, which to me are like the four presented elements in this mix. There's not a whole lot of anything else going on. Those four elements that you hear in the mix feel like they're all doing like four different things. I would love for there at least to be like two foundational elements that follow the same format, right? Like follow the same energy, and then you can float away from that, but at least the foundation of the track feels really consistent. As an example, you could have the guitar doing the lead strumming, right? Double track the guitar doing its strumming structure, vocals doing what they're doing, double track the guitar doing its strumming. The drums are doing what they're doing, and that's fine. And then have a bass pad or like a sub bass. You could use the sub 37 for this, doing a very consistent progression. So it's following the guitar exactly. It's following the drum structure and the rhythm changes exactly. And then you have another bass or another synth that is following more of the little like bass movements that float away from it. But the foundation of the guitar for your chords on the guitar, the foundation of the track from the chords on the guitar, the rhythm of the drums, and like the progression of the bass is super consistent. But then from that foundation, you have those octave jumps on the bass. You have some weird movements with your rhythm, but the foundation feels a little bit more locked in. I think that to me would make it feel less chaotic.
Exactly.
While still giving you the rhythm changes.
I mean,
still
Beatles
giving you the
did
bass
that a
changes.
lot, right?
100%.
It's like
What's up, Cole?
perfectly curated noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I feel like you guys are right there.
Yep.
But I do feel like this may be a little bit more skippable just because of that kind of chaotic nature of it.
Yeah, if you kind of keep it natural, keep it controlled, but make sure it all points in the same direction, right? Because I like the intricacies. I like the
It's a fine
spontaneity.
balance for sure.
Yeah.
Hard to do.
It's intentionally disjointed,
For
right?
sure.
And so I think if you can really like lock in, so it is disjointed and it's crazy and it's nuanced, but it still feels somewhat grounded, somewhat familiar to the audience. I think you're going to be in a sweet spot where it does feel different. It feels fresh, feels weird and quirky, but still feels palatable. I think that's the sweet spot you always have to find.
Yeah,
Some of that's
absolutely.
rhythm, some of that's the double tracking where the rhythm's a little funky, the panning's a little bit funky, but then there's some other really cool things that are happening. If you rebounce that just lightly, I think you'll be in a really good spot. It's the only track on the
Oh,
release.
really? Wow,
Okay,
that's
nice, cool.
interesting. Okay. Well, I will say it's a really difficult thing to do, and you guys got pretty close. So
100%.
it's impressive.
And then Colt, dude, 100%, man. If you do want to send something in, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, and you'll be able to just like read through and follow the steps there. The line
We
is
have a couple
always,
of spots left for
yeah,
today.
one or two other spots left. I think we'll see. Dreams, let me know if you're here. I know
True,
Senko's
Dr.
around.
Dreams might have left.
They
by
might have
now.
left, but we'll see who's here. But I would definitely make sure to check the line's always up on Twitch and YouTube, which is at my link tree
Yeah.
as well. All right, let's run out the last part. But those are the few things, Jazz, that I would focus on. Y'all are obviously talented. You obviously have good.
Mhm.
I mean, you're recording this live. You're recording this live in your living room and stuff like that.
Yeah, what I'll say, Colt, if that's too much work for you right now, please don't submit.
Yeah, because
Okay?
people then they
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it and
yeah.
then they don't understand.
No worries at all.
Yeah, the reason why we I was like, I know Colt. I was like, I know you can do it.
I'm like,
I just-
please, no, because there are people who are just like, they're like, what? I didn't know that's how it worked and stuff. And I'm just like,
I
bro,
mean, it's like, well,
please.
then you skipped through 3 pages of
Yeah,
stuff
no.
to make sure.
And then we have to keep stopping the live, and it's
God.
like, mm-mm.
I know Colt's good. I
Okay,
know
good,
Colt's
good,
good. Colt is a beast.
Just that heads up. I'm just like, no worries.
The trauma
but-
response to be
Exactly.
like, then please don't.
Exactly.
All right, let me round the end of this track here. But yeah, dude, no, you're a
For
a
sure,
beast.
for sure.
And I was like, I know you can probably handle it more than most, but as you can tell, we get triggered easily.
We
by-
are literally traumatized. Sorry about
Literally
that trauma
traumatized
response
by this
there.
fucking platform. All right, let's just snap.
It is always only on TikTok.
It is only on TikTok. Play it. So like there, changing baseline. Dude, love you too, bro. Love you too, man. The changing baseline against the consistency of the guitar with drum fills in between, right? It's the rebouncing of that to where they all work together. One example of that was like you have the lead guitar over here doing your strumming, doing your rhythm section. Maybe have a lead guitar to rebalance on the right side instead of double tracking rhythm. Have a lead guitar on the right side following the bass line. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and like rebalance the mix on the left and
Giorgio, please
the
don't
right.
spam the chat. Thank
On
you.
the left and the right, so you get the panning that you're looking for. You connect it to the bass line, so you get that cohesiveness that you're looking for, right? There's some small creative things that you could do like that to like rebalance the mix and reopen it back up. Everything else, man, as far as like a musicianship goes, y'all are super talented. I just think there's like some small structure that even though kind of crazy and quirky can still feel connected while making some really creative decisions. And I think that's the sweet spot.
chaotic that it like really throws me off, though,
100%.
So
Yeah,
that's why I said you guys are like right there.
you're really talented. It's like a little bit of tightening, a little bit of polish will go a long way. Still crazy, still quirky, still, chaotic where you want it to be, but polished enough that people can like attach to it really easily, man. But y'all are talented, man. Great musicianship. Vocals sound awesome. Vocals are really, really nicely doubled. So y'all show some love, man. That is The Sound of Mars. And the song is called Shadow. It's out on all platforms. If you like it, go stream it.
It's The Sounds of
The
Mars.
Sounds
Thank
of
you.
Mars, not the sound. Multiple sounds.
Okay, so let's get into kind of the rough process that we tend to recommend for someone who is in your spot. So, if you feel confident that you guys are going to keep working on music and you want to continually put music out consistently, stuff like that, then I would highly recommend developing a brand. There are people who say, we only do this for fun, it's whatever. But if you're putting in the effort to release music,
Paying
I
for
would think that
distribution.
there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? And it really doesn't hurt to put yourself out there and try to get an audience like you're saying. So I do appreciate the honesty in your response there. And I think it's a great plan. So let's talk through some steps that you can do now to prepare for that. I will say that an identifiable brand will definitely, it's kind of like a non-negotiable. You have to have it. It's you know, something that if your music is up to par and it's polished and it's fantastic, if you don't have the brand to back it up, you're gonna have a really, really hard time finding an audience and keeping an audience and just really getting people to engage with your content because it doesn't look polished, it doesn't look professional, and it doesn't match all the other artists that they're supporting, right? So that's a little bit on the importance of why we talk about branding and why we work towards getting artists and producers and musicians to brand themselves. Um, your music is the product, right? But you really are the brand, essentially. So, is okay, it's still coming through. So where you can start in the meantime while you're working on building up your catalog, I would work on building up a catalog of at least like 3 to 5 songs before you re-release. That way you can stay consistent and um while you're doing this, you can work on doing a bit of self discovery with Pinterest, like we've talked about several times today. It's always funny because I feel like it works out where we get a lot of people back to back that are in the same like spot. And so we end up repeating ourselves a lot in the same session. So for anyone who's been here all day, I really do apologize if I'm annoying the fuck out of you guys. But okay, Giorgio, all the info is at the link tree. You can find it on Torvik's profile.
Hell yeah.
You'll see a link called Track Talk Submission. Head there, read through all of the steps, and if you're still confused after reading the steps, check out the FAQ section. But that's the last we're gonna say on that.
100%.
That is the submission instructions.
Yep.
But Jazz Hands, I hope you're still with me here, and I hope that I'm making sense thus far. Let me know though. I just want to ensure that I'm not talking to
To the
myself.
void.
Yeah, and I don't want to annoy our chat with
Perfect.
the same information. You're still here?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why it's not like I
I'm
don't
having
think
some.
it's that though. But you can try it.
Yeah, I'm having some weird issues with OBS.
Yeah, sorry
obviously.
guys, we're having a bit of technical difficulties. Okay, so
Surprise.
while you are building up some of your music, of course you don't have to build up a catalog. You can be releasing as you come up with the music, but it is a better plan to have a bit of a catalog. And it also gives you time to work on your branding. That way you don't have to feel like you are doing it overnight. You know what I mean? Because ideally you do only want to release music when you have that brand established. Otherwise, like I said, it's kind of like you're just releasing your music out into the void in a way because people there's not as much for people to connect with or check out or follow through with. Whereas if you release once you
That's
already
cool.
have everything established, then they know exactly what you want them to do, right? They go to your website and they're able to easily support stuff like that. So you can be
Gotcha.
I'm sure that you've already heard me talk about it, Jazz Hands, but we highly recommend Pinterest. If you're not already over there, it is a really good visual platform that can help you develop your aesthetic and your visual identity. Their algorithms are specifically catered to do that. So if you're not already over there, whoever the top maybe two people that kind of head up the band is what I would highly recommend. So maybe you and your spouse, or you and your brother, however you guys want to do it. You could also have all three of you on there if you'd like. But that is what we highly recommend to get started. Pinterest mentioned. Exactly. It's been mentioned a lot today, I won't lie.
We've been talking a lot about it.
It's been a lot, yeah. But yeah, so if you have any questions about that, then feel free to drop them in the chat. But I know we have gone over it a lot today. So it's just a helpful tool. It's not like 100% necessary. It's just a tool in case you feel like you guys could use some help in figuring out what you want the aesthetic of your brand and your visual identity to be.
100%.
And then from there, that's kind of like the foundation that we describe. Everything else flows from. From there, it would be about getting every single platform that you guys will be posting and marketing on established to the best of, you know, your abilities, but basically maximize to each maximize the, like, you know, best of what am I trying to say? The best of each individual platforms.
Yeah, like optimize for each platform.
Optimize.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the freaking word. We're towards the end of the live,
We're in
guys.
the middle
and
of
this
a
is what
move at
tends
the
to
end of
happen.
live. Yeah,
Exactly.
It's brutal over here.
But yeah, optimize for each individual one, because of course every single individual platform does want you to do different things. So that would be the next step. Which platform do you recommend if I were to pick one? One is hard, and it really depends on what you guys do. So if you guys ever were going to do live shows or anything in that vein, then I would highly recommend going with Facebook. But if you guys are just, you know, only looking to release on, you know, platforms, then you could just look at doing something like Instagram. It's really hard to say. I would typically recommend TikTok, but it's really hard to say what's going to happen.
Could be
with it.
gone in 2 months.
I do think that right now, with all the tensions with China and all the stuff that's going on politically, that it's not looking bright for TikTok in America. So, hi Kumi, good to see you. So I wouldn't focus. It's hard for me to recommend focusing a lot of your attention there right now. So Instagram, you guys already have the platform. I saw that you guys at least have the profile. It's like you may as well start over there. And then if I had to recommend a second one or a third one, depending on if you get Facebook, it would be YouTube. YouTube is a really good platform, and it functions very similarly to TikTok, which a lot of people don't realize, but there is a spot for shorter form content on there that does work really, really well. So that's my answer to that question. But yeah, once you have that you know, foundation set of your brand, then you would establish whatever profiles and on any platforms you want, and then from there it's all about just consistently marketing and releasing music.
100%.
And that's the fun part, right? I always encourage people, you only have to establish your branding once, so it's not like you have to continually go back and you know, do it. So if it is kind of an annoying process, just keep in mind that it only has to be done once. But like, personally, I love
evolve.
it.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fun. And I think that you can also have fun doing a bit of self-discovering in that way. But that just might be me being a weirdo as well. So what's up, TT? Good to see you.
Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love.
Jazz Hands, thank you so much for your patience and for, you know, sharing your music with us. I am super excited to, you know, get to share in your journey now, and any way that we could possibly help you in your journey, just let us know. We got your back 100%.
Hey, miss you, bro. Love you. Appreciate you hopping in, fam. It's good to see you, man.
Miss and love you too.
Give it up
Thanks
one time
for stopping in
for the family. Hey, thank you for the DJ glasses, Anna Marie. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate that a lot.
Free bird.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jazz. I appreciate you hopping in. All right, let's get into the next. Let me see. I'm gonna get these current.
Yeah, definitely. Quick. Good luck on the journey. If you guys want to join the Discord, feel free. You can also invite any of your creative friends. They don't have to only strictly do music. Anyone who can kind of partner with musicians. So photographers, editors, videographers, stylists, really anyone that's in a creative field that just enjoys music and working with musicians can be invited to the Discord. So feel free to share that out, guys.
100%. 100%.
We have a few left for today. Right now we have Cinco, Dr. Dreams, and Colt left in the current lineup. I don't know if Dr. Dreams is here. Let us know if you're here, Dream.
I called out earlier and I didn't see them, but I know we got
Okay.
Senko up next as of right now.
Perfect. I think we'll
So
probably cap it at 3 left because we still do need to do some packing.
for sure, lots
So,
of freaking packing.
yeah, for those of you that don't know, we're in the middle of a move and it's actually driving us insane, hence my brain glitching.
Yeah, trying to like work in the midst of like moving across the state, so that's super fun. All right, I got my uncle out of his writing slump, and now we are writing together. My uncle was sick, but he sent me
Mhm.
this little vocal, and I stripped it from his guitar and laid it over my production thus far. I will be writing full lyrics this weekend. This is just a very rough demo concept and highly subject to change. I'm thinking a little Latin jazz, some percussion, and some light piano or strings, layering some Spanish guitar licks. Let's go. Not sure if I even need drums, but thinking it can't hurt. Any ideas are welcome. I am pushing my uncle to sing. Let's go. I'm excited, man. Let's get into it. Last couple songs here,
That's
y'all.
really sweet, Derek. I love that.
I like that. All right, this is Blessings in Disguise by
I
Derek
hope
Sennett.
your uncle is doing better. I did see that you said was sick, so I'm hoping he's doing better now.
Absolutely.
I feel like I always start off by saying ooh with Derek's.
Right. What's up? Hello, Sky. Good to see you, bro.
Sky. Okay, good.
Criticize forever. Something that we've done all our lives. Maybe compromise, keep us together.
Love you, bro. Good to see you.
So maybe they're a blessing in disguise. They say bad times don't last
Oh, now two.
forever. Maybe they
Love you, Sky.
help us
Thank you.
realize that as long as we stay together,
Aw, sweet. I love that.
maybe they're a blessing in
Hope you're feeling better, bro.
blessing.
His voice is so charming.
Mm-hmm. You need some days like that, Sky.
Yeah, for sure. Your mom seems super nurturing too. Comforting. This is nice. Really lovely idea, honestly.
Yeah, I can't wait for this to be recorded and
Built
built out.
more, yeah.
They say bad times don't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they help us realize that as long as we stay together, maybe they're a blessing in disguise. Maybe they're a blessing in disguise.
Love that trumpet, dude.
I love all of this. Such a mood.
It feels like
I
a
want to be.
Disney movie or something.
I want to be like sitting out at a cafe.
Mm.
Hey, thanks for the heart meat. Sitting out at a cafe listening to this on a breezy spring day. If we had spring in Texas. Actually, yeah, my cafe is not in Texas, to be honest.
Yeah.
My cafe is in Italy.
Hey, talk to you soon, man. Talk to
It's
you
an
soon.
absolute vibe. Love you, Sky.
Beautiful.
Have a good time with your mom.
Beautiful, beautiful. So show some love to Derek Senna, and also show some love to Derek Senna's uncle on those beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful vocals. These are just stripped vocals from just a loose recording. These are not like recorded or tracked or anything. Hopefully in the near future. That song is called Blessings in Disguise. Let's get straight into it. I'll talk about some stylistic stuff. What you have there as far as that bass, this is like a great opportunity for like a really nice upright bass or fretless bass. I just feel like that's a really, really nice vibe in this context. Love the acoustic tone in here. It's very, very well done. Trumpet is glorious, sounds beautiful. I personally don't think this song should have drums. I think that livens it up too much. It sounded so sick. It's something really endearing about it too.
I
You know,
know,
I
yeah.
obviously I hope he doesn't stay, sick so that he sings like this, but I do think there's something
No, but I
endearing
know
about
what
it.
you mean because it's kind of Louis Armstrong-ish.
That's what
or
reminded me
esque.
of like a Disney movie. It's like I can picture like the scene
The
with
scenario,
that.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad. I personally don't think this should have drums.
He's
Just
fine.
in the way that I'm listening to it, I feel like acoustic percussion would do better. I think like beaded shaker would be nice. Some bongos or congas or even
Exactly.
like a
A
djembe
djembe, exactly. Yeah.
with a you know what I mean? Like having that context on
Oh,
it
I'm excited
versus like
there.
a strict rhythm structure. Drums to me feels too much. That feels too big. That feels too rhythmic. I think I would stay very soft, very like, open sounding. I think like bongos and congas or a djembe would be the way to go with some light shaker, like beaded shaker, some rain sticks. You know what I mean? Make it feel very classic, very like just, I think there's so much potential. So much.
I'm just excited to hear what you do with it, to be honest.
Same.
It's already so amazing. I can feel like I can picture or
And
I
then-
can capture the vision.
You have a interlude breakdown about halfway through the song that's empty right now. Of course, you could always bring the trumpet back in for a solo there, but I like compartmentalizing a little bit, having the trumpet on the intro and outro. That would be a great opportunity for, like you said, Spanish style guitar, for you to have like a classical nylon guitar solo there. I think that would be beautiful, beautiful. A really, really nice nylon guitar solo in that middle interlude, I think would just be fantastic. It would be so nice. And I think that'd be a perfect pocket for it instead of coming back to the trumpet again. Yeah, this is a movie. It's so good.
You and I can criticize forever. Something that we've done all our lives. Maybe compromise, keep us together. So maybe there are blessings in disguise. We say that time don't last forever. Maybe they help us.
That little pocket, I think that's all that it needs. Open inside. That's all it needs, with a little bit of a shaker. Like simple, clean, open.
There are blessings in disguise. Maybe there are blessings in disguise.
Beautiful trumpet. I think simplicity makes this what it is. I think the less you do, the more tastefully, the better this is. And then here, this is where I would bring in the nylon acoustic. So you let the trumpet do its thing, and then go straight to a nylon, like Spanish style, guitar structure right there. Just like some really beautiful natural movement right there. That's the pocket that I hear that. I mean, you could have it a little bit in there for the rest of the song. I think the acoustic that's there is just steel. But I think if you have like a nylon in there, I just think that would shine beautifully. It's a great pocket for it before the vocals come back into play. I just think that could be amazing. Thank you
up,
for the
Fresh?
follow.
Good to see you.
They say bad times don't last
By the way, Fresh, we gave you an
forever.
extra 10 in credit for next time.
Yeah, you have a nice little boost for next time, man. Thank you so much for hopping back in. I need to get my guitar some good mics. His nylon through DI is not sufficient. Honestly, man, I think he could do really. There's some mics that I think would do really wonderfully for not that expensive. Of course, expensive is general speaking. My favorite for tracking live acoustic right now are the Law and Audio LA 120, I believe. It's a stereo pair of pencil condensers. They're 500, I think $500 or $600 for the set. I say budget loosely, but compared to like KM84s from Neumann and like the Telefunken series and stuff like that, that's cheap. That's half the price, right? But the LA 120s, I use them on drum overheads. I use them for stereo acoustics. I've used them for so many. Yeah, I use them for so many options. It's a stereo pair for like, you can find them used for probably $400 to $500, but the Lawton Audio LA 120 stereo pair. Fantastic sounding. There's a low pass and a high pass. There's multiple capsules if you need omnidirectional versus cardioid. So you can get a lot of control for a very cheap price. So like if acoustic's way too bright, you could low pass a little bit and allow it to warm up a bit. Honestly, fantastic set of mics. In my opinion,
at all. We
the
completely
best
get it.
ones for the price. Best ones for the price. So
It should be easier once we get more of a consistent schedule too. We've kind of just been all over the place right now because we're in the middle of a move.
definitely.
This may be our last one for just a little bit until we can get settled. So just bear with us as well. Thank
Yeah,
you so much for having so
100%.
much patience, guys, and um, definitely tap in at the Discord, or we do have a Instagram. What is it called? Broadcast channel.
Yeah,
Where we
for
do
updates.
notify, you guys when we will be going live and stuff like that. So that might be helpful, but we totally get it, basically.
100%. Yeah, we wanted to make sure you had that extra 10. That way you have
Yeah,
more of a boost on the next one. I
for
appreciate
sure.
your patience so much. Our schedule's been so much more chaotic than typical.
Right.
So
We
we
maybe
want
are
to,
gonna try to go live for a bit on Friday, guys, but no guarantees, like I
yeah,
said.
we'll do our best in the midst of the move, and we'll make sure y'all are taken care of. Yeah, so I think a couple little nuggets there, Derek, that I think would be helpful for you. But those are the best ones that I've seen for the price. There's cheaper ones, of course. And of course, you can do stereo large diaphragms too. Get a couple 214s, get a couple Rhodes or something like that. But in my opinion, it's worth the extra $100, $200 to just get the Lawtons. They're fantastic, incredibly versatile. You're recording drums, recording guitar, recording room vocals and stuff like that. Excellent.
Maybe they help us
And then we're gonna close it up with a Colt. Colt, hop in the chat. You'll be the last one today.
as long as we stay together.
You wanna save Dr. Dream Joke?
Maybe they're a blessing in disguise. Maybe they're a blessing in disguise.
So sweet.
I can't wait for this to be tracked, man.
Same.
It's beautiful. All right, Dreams of Summer. And is the song out, Colt? The one that you were singing? Let's see. Oh no, I got your email. Never mind. Gotcha. Yeah, I just saw the email. Came in a little late. Man, show some love, Derek. What's going on here? Stream Deck.
Oh, I love that King Fresh.
It's so good. I think the production structure right now, it's simplistic, it's open. I think nylon's going to be beautiful. That's the way to go. Obviously, working direct is just going to sound a bit more empty. It's going to sound like it doesn't have nearly as much life to it. You can be strategic with double tracking a direct signal, but not nearly as good as feeling the depth in the room of like a stereo setup on some pencil condensers or just a good large diaphragm condenser stereo set. That's just going to offer a little bit more depth and a little bit more life to the phrasing of like a nylon guitar. So I think that would be something that would be really important to do in the middle section of the song. Obviously, the vocal just needs to be tracked in the future. I can't wait. It's
Dude,
such a
I want to
warm,
hear it
beautiful
so
sound.
bad. Like, I just want to hear it now.
It's like it's a movie, man. I really
It's
love
such
the
a
tone.
warm, cozy. Did you say warm? It's such a warm, cozy vocal.
It's like a warm blanket, dude. I love it.
Exactly.
And then one of your bigger questions in there was drums. Does it need drums? I personally don't think so. I would absolutely move more in the direction of live percussion, you know, a djembe, even like a cajon as a production structure underneath. That might be a little sharp, a little transient, but I think having like a djembe, congas, you know, like I said, beaded shaker, stuff like that, to me will just make this feel
Okay, see you
so
next time.
retro and so well balanced versus something really punchy and driving. Even like brushes on our drums, I feel like will just offer maybe a little bit too much energy. And this to me needs to feel already going. I love that
Okay,
sound. You're
nice.
on it.
I can't wait to
I
hear
think
it.
this needs to feel subdued and controlled and mellow and emotional. And I think that's what I'm already hearing. So that's the direction I would bias towards. Derek, you're amazing, dude. We love you. Hey, thank you so much for us. See you next time, man. Thank you so much for your patience, man. I
Derek, I'm
appreciate it.
pleasantly surprised that we got to hear another one of your tracks today.
So happy, man.
Yeah, that was really, I loved it. It was such a gift.
You're so talented, man. The people you're working with are so incredibly talented, man. Just so excited anytime I get a chance to hear what you're working on, man. It's inspiring. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
So if you're not already, make sure y'all are following Derek Senna, Senko Productions, Senko Music on platforms. Go listen to the music that he's released. He's a wildly talented and well-connected producer. My uncle sent me so many gems. We gotta get your uncle on the charts, man.
Literally.
Your uncle's a very talented poet
For
and
real.
writer, man. So fun.
I do honestly feel like overall in the industry there is a lack of like space for like elder artistry. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like, I mean, did y'all see how Benson, this is gonna, I don't want to turn this into a rant, you know what I mean? But did y'all see how Benson Boone covered Bohemian Rhapsody, brought out Brian May, and the crowd went mid?
Had no idea what was going on.
Like it's just
heartbreaking.
so lame.
It's
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
And I'm like, why don't we leave more room for like older musicians?
Yeah.
I wish there was more space. I think that we should start tackling that, you know?
Yeah, it's just you don't really see it happen as much nowadays. Like I think that's easier to do with like well-established like country records and like well-established, you know, some well-established rock records, but I think it is just interesting how little people know and understand of like where the music
it's
that they're
weird
making comes from.
and kind of
You know-
annoying.
You know what I mean? Like it's very interesting to say the least. We got Colt Graves in the building. If you do not know Colt Graves is a incredible artist, very well established. Correct me if I'm wrong. You got a record deal, I think, with Timbaland, right? With his label, and started having some just incredible opportunities to pursue music at a high level. So
Nice.
just so inspired by the work that you put in, man, to just pursue music and get yourself out there. It's amazing, man.
Yes, I remember now. Very
All right,
cool.
this is work tape, not mixed, recorded in an open room with speakers on. Beautiful. Yes, sir. And Universal Music Group in Nashville. Hell yeah, dude. You're living the dream. So many people are aiming for what you're doing.
Congratulations, Colt. That's so awesome.
Love that, man. Just want y'all's thoughts on the song and wanted to support you guys. All love, dude. I appreciate you so much.
That's so sweet.
I apologize for upsetting y'all. I had no intention of doing so, dude. Not at all.
No,
Don't-
you didn't even
literally-
like seriously upset us. I just really meant it. I'm like, anytime somebody's like, oh, that's a lot or something, I'm like, dude, no worries, please. Just do us both a favor and honestly just skip out this time, all right?
Dude. Yes, I'm here, TikTok. Oh,
So honestly, I wasn't even genuinely
dude,
upset.
don't even worry about it. There we go. TikTok. Yes, we're here. Nah, dude, you're totally good. Don't even worry about it.
No,
Um,
and you're so sweet for submitting. You're already so successful and you're just supporting the live stream. So we really, really appreciate you.
And this is all right. So this is fresh. This is recorded through the speakers in the room. This is just studio session out the box. One boot out the door. Let's get into it, and then I'll pull up your Spotify too, and
Let's go.
we'll
I'm
dig into some
excited.
stuff, man. This is gonna be fun. And then also remind me, if anyone who might not know who you are too, your role in the track as far as writing, production, anything like that.
Some things will never change.
Update
I
line.
don't like the way it's going. You said you need a break. That's why I stay loaded. I stay thinking, drinking and smoking alone.
Such a nice voice.
The lights stay on, but you
What's up,
ain't
Rexy? Good to see
really
you.
home.
It's been a while.
I'm looking right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like I don't know you
Hell yeah.
anymore. You never wanted what I always wanted.
Make your
I only
dreams.
wanted the truth.
Yeah.
So it's got me asking why.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Heck yeah.
Look at that Spotify.
I'm tired of you calling door.
That's clever. I like it.
I love instinctual melodies too, where like I always feel like I knew that melody already without ever hearing the song. I love that.
100 pills couldn't ease the pain. I'm gonna feel the same each and every day that you're gone. Am I wrong to wanna curse your name when all I really want is you to stay? I'm looking right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like I don't know you no more. You never wanted
What's up,
what
Ryan?
I always wanted. I only wanted the truth.
Melodies, dude.
So it's got me asking why was what we had a lie. I'm tired of you calling me crazy.
There's that AABA melody structure again. Love it. Hell yeah, Mercy.
Hi, Raya. Good to see you. Can you scroll up to the top? Spotify.
And I stay thinking, drinking and smoking alone. The lights stay on, but you ain't really home.
I'm looking right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like I don't know you no more. You never wanted what I always wanted. I only
Writing is so good,
wanted the
dude.
truth. So it's got me asking why was what we had a lie. I'm tired of you calling me crazy. I just can't take it no more. You always had one boot out the door.
Awesome, dude.
Dude, Colt, your hair is killer. Is it still long like that?
Dude. Let's go, man. Y'all show some love to Colt Graves.
So fire. I loved it.
One of
Your
the
voice is
OGs.
amazing.
One of the family. I mean, I remember even like before Colt got the deal, just making some wildly super long hair. Dude, I love it. My hair used to be kind of like that.
Dude,
Not-
you pull
not
it
like
off
yours.
so well. I love it.
Yeah, dude,
he
such
used to
a
have
cool
hair
vibe.
like that.
It used to be crazy back in my day.
And honestly, y'all have a similar like curl pattern, like waves.
100%. But
It's
man,
awesome.
y'all show some love to Colt. Almost said Colt McRae. That's so funny. Show some love to Colt Graves. What a beast, man! Your Spotify looks awesome. You're doing all the stuff that we. This is honestly.
Yes.
If y'all want to kind of, I know the twin, man, I got to grow it out again. If you want to see the things that we're talking about, like every day that we do these live streams, we talk about what you need to establish yourself as an artist, get the attention of labels, or establish yourself independently, what that looks like and
Get
what
an
people will look for,
identifiable
right?
and cohesive brand.
You have an identifiable brand. You've got a great cover, a great banner on your confirmed Spotify. You've got great follower to monthly ratios. You have a full listed out bio, like all of the things that we talk about in
Instagram's
order.
linked, right?
Yep, Instagram, Facebook, and X all
Perfect,
linked. Like
yep.
all of the things that we talk about that allow someone, like you go to their page and like, oh yeah, it's a real artist. This is a real person
Exactly.
who's really doing music. 'Cause
Everything's
you can,
polished. You got
you
a
can see
link tree.
details. Yeah.
The link tree has the identifiable brand.
Yep.
It's all organized and listed out, really polished, professional. Definitely go check it out, guys. You will love it.
100%. I want to give you the props, you and the label and the people that you're working
Absolutely.
with, because we see people who have a label and they have people behind them and they're not doing anything. They're not helping them with
No.
any of the things that they're doing. This is a good example, man, of the stuff that you've taken charge of, that you've done really well, and the people around you actually supporting your process. That's what you want
Absolutely.
to
Mad
see.
props.
That's what you want to see. So I got to give you props, seeing that you actually have the stuff that we're telling people to do, and it affirms a lot of what we're doing, man. Making money moves. All right, let's get into it, man. This is really great. A great structure as always, dude. I expect nothing less from you. One Boot Out the Door by Colt Graves. Early demo here. Let's just dive into it for a second. I think you're doing so many things well, man.
Exactly, Colt. That's exactly what we try to tell a lot of artists that come through here. And it's funny. Sometimes people will push back and be like, I don't really know why that matters, or like, why does it matter to get a description on Spotify, or I don't need that. My label will help me.
Mhm.
Or like I've already been with them for however many months, and like their Spotify just looks like booty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to be
To-
kind of nice.
To mold it to TikTok. This looks like
Yeah,
booty.
exactly. TikTok doesn't like us cussing, but yeah, it's just it's unfortunate,
100%.
right? But if you really want it, you can do it. And Colt is a really, really good example of that.
What you want a label to be ideally in an ideal world
Exactly.
where you have some control over your sound and control over your percentages and the way that you're gaining exposure. Ideally, you want the label to be like the spark to like a flame you already have. You know what I mean? Like you want to be working hard,
Exactly.
establishing music, investing in your craft, get a good setup, record well at home, go to nice studios. Like you're doing a bunch of stuff yourself. You're establishing your socials, you're marketing well. And then you just want a label to come underneath you and be like, we will also get you to local radio play. We'll get you some
Right.
performances. We'll
Enhance what you're already
We'll
doing.
get you in this venue. We'll get you a tour manager. We'll get you whatever.
I really think that people think that labels are
Fix all of their problems.
exactly, and they're just gonna do all the work for them, and it's like really not the case. It's still, Colt can attest, it's still very much a grind. You're
Yeah.
always gonna. It's like any business. Every business owner is always going to be the most passionate about their own work, right?
Facts.
It's the same thing.
Yep. And honestly, in my experience, we're just watching so many people get signed, get dropped, get this deal, get that deal, get ripped off. Seeing so many people go through that process, you see so many people that stop. And the second that you stop and you stop like fighting for like control over your sound and the effort that you put behind your own music structure, the second that you get just swept away, you get shelved by the label, you get in debt to your recoupments because then you don't want to tour anymore because you don't have control. And so all of a sudden you owe the label $50,000 and you're not even touring. So no one's buying your stuff. Like you
That's
get
tricky.
you get underwater really fast because you're not upholding your side of the deal when it comes to the label structure, depending on the label structure. And I feel like most people don't understand that. And so they think like, dude, I just got $100,000 from a label. I got all these like record deals. I got this studio time, all this stuff. I get to let off the gas. And then you get screwed and you wonder why. And I think what you're doing a great job of is you are working with the label. You are creating a lot of exposure for your sound and your story. And you're continuing to work and to push. And that keeps you in control of your movement musically. And I think that's what you need. You can't let off the gas.
Yeah.
When I was 13, when we do this, I thought all you needed was a manager, right? You don't. Put yourself in a position to have negotiating power. If you got
Yeah.
nothing going for you, we talk about this all the time. If you got nothing going for you, you have no negotiating power. Get some stuff going for you. Get some monthlies, get some movement, get some followers, and then you'll have some negotiating power when it comes to getting a deal.
Totally.
All right, let's run it from the top. There's not a whole lot to critique. If anything, Colt, what I would love to do is just showcase some things that we talk about all the time that you're doing very well in this that I think everyone could learn from structurally. This is a great example of it. But please go stream Colt Graves, beast of an artist, great people. Go follow along with their journey.
And then Mercy, this is the last one for today. We may try to go live on Friday, but we are in the middle of a move, so there's just no guarantees with that yet. But of course, you guys know we'll go as often as we can and
Definitely.
whenever we can. But yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
I know, I'm sorry.
Some things will never change.
Thank you.
I don't
We'll try to
like
stay
the
sane.
way it's going. You said you need a break. That's why I stay loaded. I stay thinking, drinking and smoking.
Do you know what you're using to track?
alone.
It's not SM7B, is it?
The lights stay on, but you ain't really home.
That's a good line.
I'm looking right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like I don't know you no more. You never wanted what I always wanted. I only wanted the truth.
Yeah, Mercy, I love
So
that.
it's got me asking why.
You can still recognize good music even when it's not your ideal genre.
I'm tired of you calling me crazy. I just can't take it no more. You always had one boot out.
Okay, so I just want to showcase the structure. The song's in C minor. Yeah, C minor. I want to showcase the structure of this because I think it's so important. We were talking about this earlier in the day with East of Ito, another fantastic band, fantastic writers. what you hear in the structure is what you would call an AABA structure with the songwriting. It's two of the exact same
ABBA
melodies,
structure.
an ABBA structure, right? Two of the exact same or very similar melody structures, a change away from it for interest, then back to the same structure. So you have this. You have that like consistent structure, and then you have the then back, and then your like finality to that of the you always have 1 foot out the door. You have like
One
this
boot, thank
one
you.
boot. One boot out one fucking boot
It's
out
the
the
end
door.
of the live, dude.
It's the end of the
yeah.
live. I can't talk. But
Our brains.
structurally speaking, you get massive amounts of repetition, so catchy, that looped melody. That looped melody is so consistent. You change away from it, you make it more dynamic, and then you come back into that environment again, back into that lyric structure again. And to me, it is just one of the best ways. There's so many different nuanced ways to do that. It's one of the best ways to make something just lock into your brain where like you can't escape the melody. The song is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day because of those looped melodies that you come back to multiple times within the same
We had a
hook.
little snack, Raya. Thank you so much for asking. We'll eat as soon as we're done here.
So good. So I just wanted for anyone who's starting to songwrite, who wants to do collaborative songwriting, who wants to work as a songwriter and get a publishing deal as a songwriter and stuff like that. These are some of those little tools and tips that you'll get when you're working with a major label in Nashville, working collaboratively with other high-level songwriters that have also written with other phenomenal artists and have a lot of credits. These are the formats and the algorithms that you'll see in the songwriting. There's not a lot of guesswork. This music is very intentional. Now, the creative process might start loose and start really dude, let's go. Those are huge. A good publishing deal. That's oftentimes where you're going to get the most money on the back end. It's not going to be through streams.
Fantastic.
I mean, sometimes if you get millions and millions and millions of streams, depending on the percentages that you own, of course you can get some, but owning your publishing and getting a good publishing deal, that's where you're going to get like your sync playouts. That's where you're going to get your radio payouts and your spin. That's where you're going to get a lot more movement for what you're doing. Congrats to you, man. That's
So
a huge,
cool.
huge accomplishment right there.
Congratulations. Cool.
But these are the formats that I would look for, right? Like when it comes to writing songs like this that actually do well, the creative process can start loose, it can start open, but the finished project is very polished. It's very intentional. They're not guessing on what's going to work. They know that this is going to work because there's some math behind it, right? There's a lot of creativity. There's a lot of spontaneous ideas, but at the end of the day, you have a polished record that they know is going to do well. They know it's going to be catchy. It's just a matter of connecting it to the fan base.
The door.
Repetition.
Right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like
I heard the song once in my entire life. I already know half the lyrics just by default of good repetition, and literally heard the song for the first time 3 minutes ago. It's
exactly
the power of a good hook and the power of good pattern recognition in a song, dude. Pay attention, people, please. This is what and this is in any genre. Hip hop, R&B, if you're a rapper, if you are a country artist, a rock artist, if you do pop music, this is the pattern that you're looking for. Even in the verse, I'm going to run that verse real quick. Run that verse again. It's a shorter verse. This is like a 6-bar verse instead of like a full 8 or 16. It's a shorter verse. Within that 12 seconds, that is the second verse, it's like the same melody 5 times and then an ending outro to it. That repetition is what makes these songs.
100 pills couldn't ease the pain. I'm gonna feel the same each and every day that you're gone. Am I wrong? Don't wanna curse your name when all I really want is you to stay. I'm looking right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like I don't know you no more. You never wanted what I always wanted.
Fire.
I only wanted the truth. So it's got me asking why was what we had a lie. I'm tired of you calling me crazy. I just can't take it no more. You've always had one boot out the door.
Great tag to the hook. such an early demo too. I can't wait to hear how this is kind of produced out.
Yeah, if it's already this good. So
Drinking
excited.
and smoking alone. The lights stay on, but you ain't really home.
I'm looking right in the eyes of a stranger with one in the chamber. It's like I don't know you no more. You never wanted what I always wanted. I only wanted the truth. So it's got me.
I can't wait to hear how this. Obviously, this is an early demo of it too. I can't wait to hear how that this last hook builds out a little bit, like with the layers and percussion layers and stuff like that. Because my brain's waiting for like that climactic moment with this structure being looped over. So I'm excited to hear the final production of this and how it opens
Yeah,
up.
for like a bigger, fuller moment.
Yeah, because it's waiting for that.
I'm excited.
Yeah, like I can't wait. I already know. I can already imagine. I can already see where it's going. It already sounds fantastic, but it has so much potential energy that I can't wait to hear.
Was what we had a lie. I'm tired of you calling me crazy. I just can't take it no more. You always had one boot out the door.
3 hours, man.
Amazing.
Love it. I can't wait, dude. This is fire. So well structured.
Hey,
Killer, dude,
let's
man.
go, Colt.
Thank you so much for. I mean, you know what you do. You know the quality of what you do. So I appreciate you showing love, man.
So talented.
Appreciate you sending this in. Anytime we have someone that comes in that's already doing it at a high level and really knows what's going on, I always want to take that chance to showcase what's happening and why it works. Because oftentimes, as you know, you've been in and out of our lives many times before, and I know you from a year and a half probably ago at this point. But oftentimes we'll say a lot of things, and it's not always represented in people's music when it comes in. Like when we talk about the Spotify formats, when we talk about song structure, it's always nice every once in a while to get someone in that is doing all of those things that we talk about. So people can actually see and hear the manifestation of what happens when you build out song structure, have consistent melodies, have an established Spotify that's formatted really well, all of those good things.
Yeah,
man.
Cole, I was going to say, I don't know if you already have a Discord, but if you do and you're open to jumping in our Discord and, just encouraging or anything, even when you want to promote new music, stuff like that, we have different channels for it, but we would absolutely love to have you in there. Just if you happen to already have one. But
100%, man.
Big love, Colt. Thank
All
you so
love from
much.
this side, man. Love and appreciate you so much, man. Can't wait
Absolutely.
to see where you go, man. It's true. I mean, you started crushing it over the last year, 2 years. But I feel like this is just the beginning for you, man. Like you're on the rise. You got people behind you. You got the right tools at your disposal.
And honestly, even more promo for you. Like I honestly think we have some family members that would absolutely love your music. So
oh hell yeah,
anyway, we can put you on even more, we will.
absolutely, man. You're the family, man. Love and
Big
appreciate
love.
you so much. That's gonna close us
Thank
out
you
for
guys
today,
so
man.
much.
Closing out with an absolute banger, man. Geez, yeah, I'm a fan of what you do, man. Y'all show some love and support to the family. Definitely go stream Colt Graves, go follow, go add it to your
100%.
playlist. I mean,
We
I
love you too, dude.
I remember when Cowboy Capone was popping off, seeing all the videos, just the videography, cinematography, the layers to that song. It's a really cool feel, man. So I'm excited for you, excited for your future. This might be the last live for a while. Once
Yeah,
again,
just a reminder, guys, we are
we're
in the middle of a move.
yeah, in the middle of a move. So it might
We will
be
try to go live on Friday, but no guarantees with that
Right.
one. And then we'll just hopefully be on the later part of next week sometime.
Yeah.
But if not, if all doesn't go to plan and it's way too chaotic, then it may be the week after next. But just we will keep you guys updated. Of course, we have
Definitely.
that broadcast channel on Instagram, and then we do have our Discord that we update before we go live. So
for sure.
we love you guys so much.
100%.
Thank you. And thank you so much for the good vibes, Raya.
Love y'all. Appreciate y'all so much.
Love you
Y'all have a
guys.
good one.
Peace.
Peace.